Chapter 1363 King of the Jungle. Chapter 1363 King of the Jungle. If he were to use the mechanical arts to the maximum, he would be able to slay God. Long Fei's body was covered with the self-made colored mud. Hidden in the dense forest, hidden in the piles of dead leaves, hidden in the mud, he was just like a modern Esper, the master of this primitive forest. He completely grasped the rhythm of the battle. Boom! A black-clothed oracle was suddenly hanged. He reacted fast. The power from his body cut off the rope like a knife cutting a knife. At the same time, his body was still hovering in the air. He snorted, "Do you think you can hurt me with a little trick?" Not waiting for him to finish. Up, down, left, and right, four incredibly sharp wooden stakes suddenly rushed out from 4 different directions. The black-clothed envoy still did not panic. He sneered, "What a child, break them all for me." The power in his body moved and burst out, forming an extremely strong shock wave. In that moment, Long Fei, who was beneath the wooden stake, swung his staff. Bam! His body was thrown down from the air and heavily crashed into the ground. A deep pit appeared on the ground. Long Fei's body dropped, and he smashed down with another staff. Pediatric? Is it still pediatric? Acting cool? Thunderstruck. Do you understand? Boom. As his HP fell, a system notification rang out. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Black-Cloaked Oracle, for obtaining 100,000 experience, 100,000 holy sources, and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Kong Fei for obtaining the Fairy Beast. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Black-Cloaked Oracle, for obtaining the system's special reward, Call Card Slice Scorpion. A series of beeps rang out. Just as Long Fei had expected, he once again obtained the Call Card Puppet Master, Scorpion, from the Xiao organization. Scorpion? Interesting. Since it's a call card, then I'll have to make good use of it. It just so happens that I have to split my body right now. Long Fei immediately released the call card. Scorpion greets the Lord. Long Fei's lips curved up. Get up, I have a mission for you. The Scorpion began to get busy. At this time, Long Fei looked at the system with some doubt in his heart. Why is it only 1 point of energy values? They should be people. Humans are all 10 points of energy values. Why is there only a little? It's very strange. Setting of energy values. 10 points for humans and 1 for demon beast. But the black-clothed oracle that he had killed just now only had 1 point of energy values. This meant that these black-clad envoys were demon beast. Oracle is a demon beast. Long Fei couldn't figure it out, but he didn't think too much about it. After all, when he saw that call card, Long Fei laughed excitedly. Today, I will expose all of the members of Xiao clan. From now on, it will be under my control. Continue. He leaped up and disappeared into the forest in an instant. Big brother, 7th brother, 8th brother hasn't come back yet. I'm afraid something has happened. Damn it. Where is this kid? Don't worry about all that for now. What we need to do now is to find him. I want to use his head to wash off our shame. The leader raged with fury. They did not even know that their people had died like this, having been completely cleaned by Long Fei in this forest. Then, he continued, since you want to play with me, then let's see who can do what you want. Pass my orders. All of you, go back. Huh. Everyone did not understand, but when they returned at this time, they would definitely be punished by their leader. The death of 2 Oracle S was a great humiliation to them. What face did he have to go back? That man smiled coldly and said, "Don't worry, we can do the same if he can lure our people to kill us." And then, the man looked at the dense jungle and sneered, "Brat, if you have the guts then follow me." Finished. The man quickly retreated. The remaining 5 people quickly followed. Flee? Do you think you can escape? Long Fei did not want to miss such a good opportunity. A 10 million experience points was not common in this world. How could he let it go so easily? Long Fei immediately followed. Half an hour later, the 6-man team had suddenly lost a person. A few minutes later, another person was missing. Immediately after, they disappeared one by one and their positions were not detected by Long Fei. Crap. I've fallen into his trap. Long Fei secretly shivered in his heart. At this moment, the man in the lead suddenly stopped. His gaze darkened as he shouted excitedly, "You dog, come out and die." Boom! A powerful energy suddenly swept out, directly smashing into Long Fei's location. It was also at this moment that the man's figure moved and landed in front of Long Fei. With one hand holding onto Long Fei, he heavily crashed into the big tree. With a roar, he shouted, "Dodge, dodge again. Too fast." All the energy in his body was being bound. It was very uncomfortable. At the same time, the other 5 men suddenly appeared and revealed excited smiles on their faces. "Boss, this technique of luring a snake out of its hole is truly amazing. Ha ha ha. This kid is dead for sure. Kid, do you want to touch our people? Don't you know who we are?" The 6 of them were excited. After being played around by Long Fei for half a day, he had finally caught Long Fei. At this time, he would make Long Fei pay a heavy price. Leader stared at Long Fei. "You dog, why aren't you saying anything? Kill my brother. I'm going to use your head to wash away our shame." Finished. The man used his strength. Crack. The head fell off. However, there was not a single drop of blood flowing out. Looking at the head on the ground, it looked like it was completely made of wood. It was not human at all. Puppet. The expressions of the 6 people became sinister. At this time, Long Fei's figure landed not far away as he said with a faint smile, "So ruthless, you actually want to use my head to wash away the humiliation? Aren't you guys being too cruel? You." The man looked at the puppet on the ground, then looked at Long Fei. The 2 of them looked exactly the same. Long Fei laughed. "What's wrong with me? Very handsome. Unfortunately, I don't have a foundation, and even more so, I don't know how to have a foundation with a demon beast." Leader gave a cold laugh. "Since you dare to come out, then don't even think about hiding. Attack." They were not afraid of Long Fei coming out. Long Fei's cultivation was only at star rank 4, with such a cultivation, any one of them could easily handle him. As long as Long Fei did not dodge, would they kill him? Easy. As soon as he finished, the 6 of them moved at the same time and surrounded Long Fei in practically an instant. Long Fei glanced at his experience points, 60 million experience points. "I can once again level up. Mongoose, kill them all." A command came, and the call card was activated. In this instant, a man wearing a blood-red colored cloud black robe landed beside Long Fei, and his eyes changed. Chapter 1364 Explosion. Chapter 1364 Explosion Attack. The 6 of them attacked Xiong Long Fei at the same time. Long Fei smirked and laughed coldly. "You want to kill me? You are too inexperienced." Then, in that moment, the attacks of the 6 almost struck Long Fei's body, but their attacks suddenly changed, and did not land on Long Fei's body, but on their own people. Illusion techniques. A weasel's illusion. Their pupils turned diamond-shaped, and in an instant, the 6 black-clad envoys were hit by the weasel's illusion, crazily killing each other, and treating their target as Long Fei. Long Fei looked at their violent and bloodthirsty expressions, and sneered, "F***ck your mother, who the hell are you to be so ruthless to me? Kill. Kill. Crazy slaughter. Ha ha ha." Long Fei looked at the weasel as he thought to himself, "The members of the organization can basically hold their own. They are all quite strong. With these guys here, a mere oracle wants to kill me. Isn't he too brainless?" Soon, only a small amount of HP remained on the heads of the 6 players. Long Fei moved and said, "Leave it to me now." The ferret disappeared. When the 6 of them woke up from their hallucinations, they saw themselves covered in blood, their entire bodies were filled with wounds, making them in extreme pain. When they saw that Long Fei was completely fine, their eyes trembled. "Ghost, ghost, you are a ghost, you are a demon." Long Fei walked over while holding the golden cudgel, and said with a slight smile, "Your father is your father." Bam! Bam! A staff, one at a time, smashed down, completely instantly killed. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Black Cloaked Messenger for obtaining 100,000 experience, 100,000 Holy Source, and 1 energy values. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Black Cloaked Oracle for obtaining 100,000 experience, 100,000 holy source, and 1 energy values. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special reward from the system. The reward is the item Flying Duan. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special reward from the system. The reward is the item Ghost Beetle. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special reward from the system. The reward is the item Call Card, Dietra. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, star level 5. The system exploded into chaos. Every time, he would receive a special reward from the system, with 6 call card members in his possession. However, a few ferocious level bosses did not give him a reward. Pain, Spot, and Big Snake did not come out. Long Fei was not worried. As long as this secret world still had a black-clothed oracle, he wouldn't need to worry. Let alone the fact that it was already morning, maybe in the end, even the Oatutsuki Hagoromo would burst out for him. 6 people were killed. The corner of Long Fei's mouth curled up slightly, and he said indifferently, "Come out, you've followed me for an entire day, is it interesting?" Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. A low voice came out, and a figure landed. An old man who was bending his back and stroking his beard fell down, maintaining a relatively safe distance from Long Fei. He looked at Long Fei and said slightly, "Little big bro is really good, even Oracle can easily kill Avilders, looks like the rumors outside are not fake." Long Fei stared at the old man. The old man had a dense chi on his body, he was not an ordinary person, and said, "What rumors?" The old man laughed. The previous youth master of Hellgate had an extremely strange power. To be able to compare with the punishment given by the destiny god, he is a person who defies the heavens. Long Fei laughed. "A heaven-defying person?" The old man laughed slightly, and said, "With your strength, you'll naturally be able to pass this times tower question of God test easily. You might even be able to clear 100 layers of tower question of God and enter the ancient holy battlefield. Little brother, if you can enter the ancient holy battlefield, what faction will you join?" The old man stared at Long Fei seriously. Probing. Examination. Who was this old man? Long Fei didn't know a thing. One had to know that the disciples of the Tower Question of God were absolutely loyal to the Light faction. Long Fei laughed. "I don't think I need to tell you which faction I join, right? But you followed me for an entire day, what do you want?" The old man laughed. "I just feel that you're not simple. After all, we are competing in relationships. If you understand your opponent, then you can know yourself and know your opponent. Do you understand now?" Long Fei asked. The elder said, "The more I understand, the more I don't understand. Younger brother Long, I am honored to be able to take the exam with you this term. Rest assured, I am not your opponent." Finished. The old man disappeared into the forest in the blink of an eye. Even his aura had disappeared. Long Fei thought, seems like the Tower Question of Goddess are taking the test in a strange way. The Light faction, the Dark faction. Could it be that the Dark faction has also taken action? Who cares? Who cares if he's dead or burning the house? I'll destroy whoever dares to obstruct my path. Long Fei's heart was moved, and his figure also disappeared into the forest. Somewhere in the darkness of Secret World. He's just like you said, bottomless and extremely dangerous. The old man pondered for a while. In front of him stood a woman, Nangong Yang. Moreover, Nangong Yang's position was above his. Nangong Yang squinted his eyes and laughed. "Extremely dangerous is only fun. If he can be used by us, maybe he can change the structure of the battlefield." The elder's eyes became cold as he whispered, "What does Lord Evil God mean?" Nangong Yang said, "I have not reported it to the higher-ups. Lord Evil God still does not know. However, the Lord Evil God said that I will make the decision here." The old man did not dare to say another word. Nangong Yang looked at the dark forest, and said, "Long Fei, exactly how strong are you right now, and is it possible for the power in your body to reverse the pattern?" "Heh. What did you say?" "They're all dead." Inside the wooden house, the black-clothed leader's face darkened and he suddenly shouted, Do you want to die? Kill the oracle? This had never happened in the past tests. Elder, what should we do now? Should we make a move on them? The leader squinted his eyes and said gloomily, since the oracle is dead, then there should be someone to accompany them in death. I want to see just how much strength you still have to make a ruckus in the tower question of God's assessment. I want to see how long you can continue being so arrogant for. Then. The leader shouted, pass my command, search and capture in full force. As long as you find the fugitive. Kill them all. For a time, the secret world's assessment had completely changed. Originally, it was just a test of the disciples' temperament, but now it had directly evolved into a hunting game. Who can live until tomorrow? Who could be the final winner of this hunting game? No one knew. Since Ancestor Kunlun was able to turn the entire Kunlun sect into a gigantic mechanism, then he could naturally turn the secret world into a gigantic mechanism as well. Or not. If he was going to do it, then it was going to be big. Chapter 1365 I Am the Paragon. Chapter 1365 I Am the Paragon. The death of the 8 black-robed divine beings infuriated the black-robed divine envoys within the secret world, making them very unhappy. At the same time, all of the black-robed divine beings began to move. When they moved, Long Fei was also secretly equipping it. And everything about him was under Nangong Yang's surveillance. Nangong Yang was even more curious than the god's martial continent about the mysterious ability in Long Fei's body. What exactly was it? At night, Long Fei sat on a big tree, and with a thought, he looked at where Beast City's eyes were. Everything is normal. The Beast City was his power. They were still a young force, and he had to take good care of them. When they grew up, they would definitely be extremely powerful. The guild level has increased by quite a bit. Leopard Girl, Luoshi, you two wait for me. It won't be long before I reach the rank 10 gang. I'll be able to teleport you two here. Long Fei secretly said in his heart. She missed him a lot. Unknowingly, Long Fei fell asleep while leaning against a tree. Releasing the idea, don't miss every corner. Brat, don't let me catch you. Otherwise, I will skin you alive and pull your tendons out. I will make you feel worse than death. The leader of the oracle said in a deep voice. The surrounding oracle was quickly moving forward. This time, they were searching every inch of the ground, and it was not bad at all. They were enraged. He had never been provoked like this and would definitely not let Long Fei off easily. All of you, be more careful. He's right here in Secret World. He won't be able to escape. Suddenly, Long Fei's eyes suddenly opened wide. It was also at this time that Nangong Yang stood not too far away from him. Long Fei's heart trembled. He looked at Nangong Yang and said, your cultivation is truly unfathomable. Even Long Fei could not detect it. Moreover, Nangong Yang was like a ghost, with no aura at all. Nangong Yang smiled slightly and said, no matter how unfathomable you are not as powerful as I am. You killed 8 black-clothed oracles by yourself, and this power alone is not something I can match up to. Long Fei looked at her and asked, I really want to know, why are you here? Passed the examination? It doesn't look like it. The feeling Nangong Yang gave him was completely different than the one he got from the god's martial continent. The woman in front of him was very meticulous and Long Fei could not see through her. There were many people in God's martial continent who had a greater talent than Nangong. For example, there were thousands of people, and for example, there was the Leopard Girl. Their talents were all better than Nangong Yang's, but they did not enter Chaos Realm. Nangong Yang is here. What had she experienced? Nangong Yang slightly smiled. Why don't I look like one? Coming here naturally is to pass the tower question of God's examination and become a disciple of a tower question of God. You should know that this is the only place in the Chaos Realm that is able to touch on other realms. Ding-ling. Suddenly, a sound rang out in Long Fei's mind. He tightened the space between his brows and said, I won't tell you anymore, they're here. And then, Long Fei looked at Nangong Yang. Do you dare to fight against the hunters with me? Nangong Yang said, even if I had to go against the heavens together with you, I would still dare. Long Fei was startled. He immediately jumped down the tree, and said softly, follow closely. Whoosh. Long Fei quickly teleported out. Nangong Yang looked at his figure and faintly said, "To get to know someone, following them is the best way to understand." Whoosh! Nangong Yang was like an incomparably nimble swallow as she swiftly followed. Whoosh, whoosh. Two figures could be seen shuttling through the darkness at high speed. Ding-ling, ding-ling, ding-ling. More and more bells and bells rang in Long Fei's mind, and he became excited in his heart. All of them have entered my traps. This time is another wave of experience. That's not right. There's also Pain and Spot, the leader of Xiao Xiao organization. It would be perfect if these two guys were here. If I were to control all of the organization. Long Fei could not be considered a fan of fire, but he knew a little about Xiao's power, and these people all had their own unique abilities, like the 8 King Kong's his here. Leader, that kid is right in front. The leader had disappeared. Shua. The space split open and a figure darted inside. In an instant, a huge long blade came down from the sky and shouted in a deep voice, "Kid, get down." Suddenly. It was so fast that no one could react. Long Fei's forehead tightened. He did not expect someone to suddenly appear from the void, and furthermore, the power of the blade was extremely powerful. Long Fei flipped his right hand. The golden cudgel went up to block it. Rumble. With the burst of power, Long Fei's body fell from the sky as the tyrannical power crushed his body. Boom. The ground exploded into a deep pit. The leader did not give Long Fei any chances to catch his breath. "Even you dare to go against us, are you still worthy?" Crack. The long blade slashed out, like a bolt of lightning slicing through the air. Strong performance. Long Fei, who was in the deep hole, raised his eyebrows, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, and cursed in his heart, "Me." Boom. His right foot chopped down as he rose up from the ground to meet the attack head-on. He hollered, "Suit yourself to 18 generations of your ancestors." Buzz. The golden cudgel in Long Fei's hand hummed, and without using any other power, it clashed with the staff. "You overestimate yourself." The long blade man coldly sneered, and slashed Slay. Bam! Long Fei's body explosively retreated once again. A long gash was left on the ground as the blood and chi in his chest roiled. He was feeling extremely uncomfortable. "It's really strong. This power is too powerful." Long Fei had to admit, these black-clothed oracles were very, very strong. This kind of aura should be the aura of their golden divine light. It was only because of this aura that he could obtain 10 million points of experience points and receive the system's special reward. The man with the long blade landed, waved his blade, pointed it at Long Fei, and laughed coldly. "Kid, you want to fight me? You're too inexperienced. Wake up." Long Fei straightened his body and faintly said, "The ones who should be enlightened should be you too. This place. I'm the paragon now." The saber man laughed and said, "This examination was made by a powerhouse. You are the paragon? Then what are we?" "After killing the 8 black-clothed oracles, I see that your assessment will end here." The long saber man's voice faded. In that instant, the saber man's body once again pierced through the void. Long Fei smirked, "So that's it? I haven't played enough. Mongoose, Flying Duan, Ghost Dragon, Scorpion, Dietra. All of you, come out. Let them see your strength. God. God is the lowliest thing in my eyes, Oracle. It is even more so an existence which is as lowly as an ant or a half." Long Fei activated the call card S one by one. Chapter 1366, Frenzied Blow Fist. Chapter 1366, Frenzied Blow Fist. A group of people wearing black robes made their way down from the sky. Swish, swish, swish. They were all standing beside Long Fei. All of their expressions were ice-cold as they looked at the surrounding black-clothed oracle with murderous gazes. At this moment, if there was any more music to play, it would definitely ignite the explosion. Long Fei coldly said one word, "Kill." The 8 Xiao clan members immediately moved, turning into a ball of red light and dashing forward. The weasel's illusion, Dietra's art of exploding, the scorpion's puppet, the ghost dragonette. At this moment, the damage output exploded. The black-clad oracles were all completely dumbfounded. How could Long Fei summon so many people that he had never seen before? Moreover, The energy that flowed around their bodies was not the aura of the spiritual chi of heaven and earth. Instead, it was a strange power that had never been felt before. Too deadly. For a moment, those black-clothed oracles were stupefied. Who are they? Lord, the power of these people is too strange. What's the situation? My lord. They didn't understand it, and neither did their long-headed, saber-looking man. He had never seen or felt such a strange power from any of these blood-cloud black-robed men. Their power came from chakra. How could they understand that? However, the man with the long blade was very clear that everything was centered around Long Fei. As long as he could defeat Long Fei, everything would come to an end. The long blade in the sky moved, a blade slashed at Xiong Longfei, and said in a deep voice, "You will never be able to leave it. As long as you die, all these things will disappear." The corner of Long Fei's mouth curved up slightly, and he laughed sinisterly. "I die? That will depend on whether or not your strength is strong enough." As soon as he finished, the man with the long blade in the air slashed across Xiong Longfei's head. "Die. Too fierce." In the distance, Nangong Yang's face changed. The old man beside him said, "Master, are we not going to intervene?" Nangong Yang said, "If he can't even block this attack, then he is not the person Master Evil God wants, and I don't need to waste any more time on him." The old man said in a low voice, "But his cultivation level is only star level 4. Nangong Yang replied, "He's already at the 5th level of the star rank. After killing 8 black-cloaked oracles yesterday, he broke through." The old man trembled and said, "Even if he's at the 5th level of the star level, he's not a match for this elder Chang Dao. If we don't attack, let alone the fact that his cultivation was not his opponent, even the powerhouse was not his opponent." This old man with the long blade's cultivation was at least at the same level as the powerhouse S, and the key was that the power he cultivated was different from the power the regular warriors trained in. The average warrior trained the energy of heaven and earth, and the power he cultivated was God power. The disparity in strength was too great. In the beginning 2 moves, Long Fei was completely disadvantaged, but now, Elder Chang Dao was even more so exploding with his full strength. This blade would definitely take Long Fei's life. Nangong Yang was very clear about this in his heart. However, he had a feeling that Long Fei would not die, and he had a powerful trump card. He definitely would not die so easily. She even thought that the elder Chang Dao would die. Taking a step back, even if Long Fei lost and died, it wouldn't have any effect on her. Because the people participating in the first stage of the examination simply didn't have the qualifications to enter the eyes of the evil god. Thus, Nangong Yang watched on coldly from the start, not intending to help Long Fei. This was the test of the tower question of God, but it was also the test of the evil god against Long Fei. "Long Fei, you won't let me down, will you?" Nangong Yang looked at the motionless Long Fei, and said with a low voice as his eyes slightly narrowed. Seeing that Long Fei did not move, the man with the long blade immediately laughed. "Brat, see Hades." Boom. The incomparably powerful saber strike chopped down. Crack. Flames shot up into the sky. The lava exploded. Lava erupted and fell onto the ground. The surrounding area began to burn. The last wave of lava was like a huge boulder thrown into the lava. Furthermore, the long saber was slowly swallowed up by the lava. Gudong. Gudong. The magma bubbled and a scorching heat rose crazily from the magma. The long-bladed man's face changed. "What is this? You. What kind of person are you exactly, and what sort of divine abilities and techniques did you cultivate?" With the slash of the blade, half of Long Fei's head was chopped off. However, half of the things that fell down was lava, and Long Fei's body was slowly bubbling. It was extremely likely. Long Fei grinned. "Are you afraid? And something you're more afraid of." Boom. Long Fei grabbed his long blade, his body fiercely rushing forward, directly rushing forward, his flame fist ignited crazily, his fist striking out explosively. The fist landed on Elder Chang Dao's chest, and pierced through it. Ding. System notification. Activating paralysis attribute. Huh. Long Fei stared blankly for a moment, and then laughed excitedly. "While you're sick, I'll take your life." Magma explosion fist. The moment Elder Changdao was paralyzed, Long Fei's fists, like a shower of fiery meteors, began to violently strike out, bombarding circles at Elder Changdao's chest. Bang, bang, bang. Flames flew in all directions. The surrounding trees began to burn. The old man with the long blade had his HP rapidly decreasing. Long Fei shouted, "Didn't you say you want me to die? Come on, kill me." Boom, boom, boom. Every punch was filled with the anger of a red dog, and the strength of the magmatic fruit was exerted to the extreme. It was a complete mess. The old man could barely defend himself in the beginning, but it would be completely unbearable at the end, and Long Fei's fist did not even have a sliver of a gap, not giving him the slightest chance to react. If he did it, he would die. As long as you still have HP left, Long Fei will not let go even if he used all his strength. Otherwise, he will die. The surrounding oracles continuously charged forward. But before they could rush up, they were killed by the weasels. Nangong Yang's eyes trembled, his fists clenched tightly under his sleeves as he said faintly, "You really still have another move. Long Fei, you are even more unfathomable than before." That elder also had a face full of shock as he said, "Such powerful strength. He can actually transform his body into magma. Just this type of divine ability is enough to enter the evil god pavilion. Lord, you did not see wrongly. This Long Fei is really strong. Her talent and potential are the strongest out of all I have ever seen, of course, other than you," the old man said. Nangong Yang smiled slightly. "Now, do you think Master Evil God will agree?" The elder immediately said, "I will explain everything that has happened here to Lord Evil God. Your Excellency will definitely be very satisfied. In the past, he was worried that Long Fei didn't have the qualifications to enter the Evil God Pavilion, but now, he was worried that Long Fei wouldn't even bother to enter the Evil God Pavilion. Boom. Explode for me." Chapter 1367. If you don't explode, you're in a bad mood, right? Chapter 1367. If you don't explode, you're in a bad mood, right? Long Fei looked at the last bit of blood on the old man's head. He suddenly stopped and attacked with all his might, then shouted, trying to act cool to me, "Flipping. Explode for me." The two fists collided against the long blade man's temples. The long saber man bellowed, "Kid, this is not over." Buzz. With that, his head was immediately smashed apart by Long Fei. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Elder Changdao for obtaining 150,000 experience, 150,000 holy source and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Spirit Serpent Fairy Beast. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient spiritual treasure Spirit Serpent God Sword. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining. The system sounded out one after another. Ding. Congratulations player Long Fei for killing Black Cloaked Messenger Elder. You have received a special reward. The reward is the Great Snake Pill Call Card, Pay En Call Card. He obtained 2 call cards at once and made a huge stroke. Ha ha ha. The members of the guild are all about to be blown up by me. We're just short of the mark of the boss. This guy seems to have gone all out with an earth-shattering ninja technique. Long Fei excitedly laughed, looked at the surrounding black-clothed oracle and said, "Kill them all." However, at this moment, the secret world began to shake violently. One after another, the forces began to shrink crazily. Long Fei's mind went cold. What kind of plane is this? The mechanism has not been activated. It was also at this time. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The black-robed envoys were suddenly sucked back and disappeared from the spot by a powerful force. Even the corpse of Elder Changdao also disappeared. Nangong Yang fell from the treetops and said, "The first stage of the examination is over." Heh! It ended just like that. So fast, I haven't killed enough. Long Fei was a little depressed. He still had his tricks up his sleeve and had not released them yet, so he was still unable to kill all of these black-clothed oracles. A black-clothed oracle with 10 million experience, how great. One by one, they disappeared, causing Long Fei's heart to ache. My experience, my holy source, it's worth it. There's also. My boss Xiao hasn't even dropped it yet. How can you guys leave? At this time. Nangong continued, "The people you killed were only their avatars, they were not their real face. If it was their real face, you would already be dead." Huh. Long Fei's eyes flashed, and he muttered, "No wonder. With just a bit of energy values, I even thought that these black-clothed Oracle-s were created from the cultivation of demon beast." Long Fei felt relieved in his heart. Humans only had 10 points in energy values. The person he killed only had energy values. This was very strange. After Nangong said this, Long Fei understood. Nangong said, "Based on your results of the assessment, you should be in the first place. You will receive the highest points from the Tower Question of God and also receive a special reward." Long Fei, shall we take the road at the back together? There was some sort of affection in Nangong eyes, and it was a little dubious. It had to be said that Nangong was very beautiful. Her charming eyes were filled with temptation. It could be said that her damage output was definitely 99 points. Long Fei smiled faintly. "Aren't we together?" Nangong said, "Then we also need to go together." Without waiting for her to finish speaking, her body was sucked in by a powerful force and she disappeared from where she stood in the blink of an eye. Looking at the direction that she disappeared in, Long Fei's eyes darkened. "Nangong, what is your goal?" If a person changed again, some things definitely wouldn't change. A woman like Nangong was extremely realistic. In her eyes, there was only one goal. Boom. Boom. There was a huge sound in the sky, and a powerful suction force enveloped Long Fei. Long Fei moved his idea and summoned all of the members back at the same time. Boom. His body suddenly retracted, and in the blink of an eye, he disappeared. After half a second, a powerful force dragged him out of the secret world. The force was extremely heavy for some reason, and it did not give Long Fei the chance to stabilize himself, as it pressed down heavily. Rumble. His body crashed into the ground, causing the ground to crack. A figure dropped down from the sky with a long saber following right behind him. The flame of his anger was raging as he said, "Kid, I will kill you." Shua. A golden divine power was released. The power of this slash was incomparably savage, and the speed at which it came at was even several times faster than in the secret world's. Long Fei simply did not have time to react. However, Long Fei moved. The resurrection ring is activated. Activate the protective ring. Long Fei's right hand suddenly slapped out, and with a flick, he flew up. He roared out, and scolded, "If you can't kill me, I'll K your entire family to death. If you don't want to, then do it." S heart was in displeasure, and he forced his body to go against it. Rumble. As the blade chopped down, the golden lightning followed suit. Long Fei did not use any defensive power, and only relied on his body to resist, going head-on against it. The blade descended. Long Fei's body floated in mid-air, not moving at all. Moreover, there were no wounds on his body at all. It was as if he was completely uninjured. At this moment, everyone was stupefied. Even the old man with the long blade's expression turned ugly with a swoosh. He knew better than anyone else how powerful this strike was, but not only was Long Fei not dead, he wasn't even injured at all. What did this mean? This meant that his own strength was not on the same level as Long Fei's. The disparity was enormous. Long Fei shouted, "You are not even able to injure a single hair on my body, and you dare to be so arrogant with me? Come the King back again." He cursed loudly. However, Long Fei's back, his palms were covered in cold sweat. Because, in that instant, his more than 3 million points of holy source value was instantly used up, but his health point was still not enough. If he hadn't activated the ring earlier, he would have died without a trace. Oracle's strength. Especially because the slash of the blade was still carrying such a strong golden light. Long Fei was secretly shocked in his heart. I have to be careful with this power in the future. This divine force feels like it contains the aura of annihilation. The Blade Elder's eyes were bloodshot. He stared straight at Long Fei, clenching his fists tightly. He roared out, "Still dare to be arrogant. I want to see how many more blades you can endure." He moved. The power in his body exploded, and a thick golden light shone. Long Fei's eyes turned sinister. "Come again." The idea moved. The sky-swallowing rat is ready. The sky-swallowing rat raised its eyes and let out a series of creaking sounds. The fire unicorn and the evil spring immediately made way, as if they had seen a boss. Long Fei was not afraid, he just stood there suspended in mid-air without moving. He would tolerate you once, but he would definitely not tolerate you twice. The old man's heart refused to accept this outcome. He released an even more powerful force and chopped down with his blade. Long Fei squinted his eyes and laughed sinisterly, then said coldly, "Seems like you want to give me the boss points that I know of. Then come." Chapter 1368, I'm your man. Chapter 1368, I'm your man. Arrogant once, I'll tolerate you. No matter how arrogant. This father will ***k you to death. This was precisely Long Fei's personality. With a move of the idea, he immediately ordered the sky-swallowing rat, "If he dares to touch me, swallow him." The sky-swallowing rat gave a creak. The power in Elder Changdao's body exploded as he furiously slashed down. ***ck. Long Fei shouted in his heart. Just as the sky-swallowing rat was about to come out, a white-haired elder fell from the sky above the martial arena. With a flip of his right hand, a divine seal the size of a jade seal came crashing down. Stop! Boom! A ray of golden light shone upon Elder Changdao, enveloping him within instantly. Buzz! Elder Changdao's enormous strength hacked down onto the golden shield, producing an ear-piercing sound, but the golden shield did not react at all. Not a single crack could be seen. Not only was the power of the Elder Changdao unable to shatter the golden shield, in that instant, the powerful energy had rebounded and he was bounced back and forth by the golden shield. Phut! He spat out a mouthful of blood, looked up to the sky, and did not dare to be angry, immediately kneeling on the ground respectfully, and said, "I pay my respects to Clan Elder Yi Seng." The envoys all kneeled down, and said in unison, "We are participating in the Yi Seng's clan elders." The Yi Seng descended and looked at Long Fei with a bland smile, and then said lightly, "All of you, stand up." The divine seal in his hand also vanished. However, Long Fei's eyes were a little stumped, because the divine seal was like the golden arms bowl of Fa High, able to suppress the demon, and also, that was definitely a high-level holy artifact with a lot of power. A person as strong as the Elder Changdao could crush him with one move without any temper. Moreover, this white-browed monk was extremely sharp. His strength was at least several levels higher than Elder Changdao. The Elder Changdao is so powerful, how terrifying is he? It was hard to imagine. Long Fei was secretly shocked, and said, "No wonder it is said that Tower Question of God is the strongest power in Chaos Realm, it is indeed true. Right now, I don't even know where Tower Question of God are, yet there are so many powerful powerhouse." At this time, Elder Changdao took a step forward and said with his head lowered, "Elder, this disciple is too arrogant, he has killed several people within Secret World, which has never happened before in the history of the examination. If we do not teach him a lesson, I am worried that someone will look down on the dignity of the Tower Question of God, so." The Yi Seng said indifferently, "So you did it." Elder Changdao lowered his head even more, and said, "This disciple only wants to protect the dignity of the Tower Question of God, I do not have any other intentions." Yi Seng did not look at Elder Changdao anymore. He looked at Long Fei and asked, "What do you think?" Long Fei shrugged and said, "I have no opinion on this matter." Yi Seng laughed and said, "You have killed so many people in Secret World, do you have nothing else to say?" Long Fei said, "I don't know them, and he has captured a disciple who will be taking the examination. I thought he was the test for us in the Secret World. Moreover, someone wants to capture me, can't I resist?" Yi Seng had a smile on his face that looked like Metria Buddha. This smile made it hard for Long Fei to see whether he was happy or angry, but it made him look like an old fox that was hidden very deeply. The Yi Seng said indifferently, "That's true, someone wants to capture you, can't they resist?" However, the Yi Seng looked at Long Fei and asked, "With your intelligence, you should be able to guess the purpose of the Secret World's test, right?" This was a test of a person's temperament. Long Fei's heart was naturally clear, but he immediately played dumb, and said, "I don't know, if I had known, I wouldn't have killed them." "You Kid, you don't know. Elder Changdao's face sank. You filled the entire secret world with mechanisms. Your murderous intent is too strong, it's not suitable at all. Yi Seng glared at him. Elder Chang Dao immediately did not dare to say any more. Long Fei grinned and laughed. The Tower Question of God's Oracle are all top-tier powerhouses. How would I have expected them to be so weak? Kid, you're too arrogant. Elder Chang Dao was furious. It was extremely displeasing to be ridiculed by Long Fei. Long Fei sneered and said, I forgot to tell you, I've been this arrogant since I was young. What can you do? The head of Elder Chang Dao was releasing smoke. His long blade released a buzzing sound, his killing intent soaring to the skies. It was just that. Yi Seng shouted coldly, enough. And then, Yi Seng looked at Long Fei and said, this assessment is an assessment of your personality. Since you don't know about it, then let's not pursue the matter of killing Oracle anymore. However, I do not wish for there to be a next time. Long Fei said, I can tell you guys that I can't kill him, but when I first entered Secret World, he asked me, he said that if I get killed, then I can only blame myself for being useless. I wonder who's useless now. As he said that, Long Fei stared at Elder Chang Dao. The Elder Chang Dao could not hold it in. Anger attacked his heart and he spat out a mouthful of blood. You. Long Fei laughed. Just a few casual words are enough to make you vomit blood. Clan Elder, I don't think it's good to be this kind of person. Phut. Elder Chang Dao could not hold it in any longer and spat out a mouthful of blood. Although Long Fei did not make a move. However, these two attacks had caused a great deal of damage to the Elder Chang Dao, causing the HP at the top of his head to be reduced by half, just that. It was a pity, if it was outside, Long Fei would not let go of the matter of him hitting the drowning dog. Yi Seng's brows slightly tightened, and said indifferently, take him away. From today onwards, I will be in charge of the assessment. In addition, the Yi Seng said, the results of this assessment will be announced here tomorrow and we will disperse today. Everyone should go back and rest. Tomorrow morning, there will be a second assessment at this place. Many Oracle of the Tower Question of God were not happy about the examination being made a ruckus by Long Fei. He had never met such a person who dared to provoke an elder. This was equivalent to looking down on a Tower Question of God. This kid can look for me after passing all the exams. Offending an elder in public, he's too arrogant. Just you wait. He's the prettiest one around. Many people were discussing how offending an elder during the assessment period was just like offending oneself. But Long Fei didn't care. After reporting to his residence, it did not take long for Nangong Yang to enter the courtyard. Long Fei looked at her. Without waiting for her to speak, he asked her directly, the hunter you mentioned should be lying to me, right? I want to know who you are now. Nangong Yang was very straightforward as he walked into the courtyard and closed the door. He immediately took off his outer robes and said, I am your man. Chapter 1369, Examination 0. Chapter 1369, Examination 0. There was no other language. He took off his clothes as soon as he started, leaving only a thin undergarment and pants. That figure. There was nothing to say. It could be said that any man who saw it would be moved, and would be aroused by the most primal of desires. Long Fei suddenly asked. However, he was a man, a very normal man, and the reaction in his mind was, don't say anything, just do it. It's free, it's not for nothing. Since you are so direct, the corner of Long Fei's mouth revealed a sinister smile, and he directly carried Nangong Yang into the room. And then, pa pa pa, pa pa pa, pa pa. A long time later, on the headboard, Nangong Yang leaned into Long Fei's embrace, and lightly moved his fingers as he said, do you still want to know who I am right now? Long Fei looked at the system. What surprised Long Fei was that, in the process of his pa-pa, the system had sounded out a notification sound and Long Fei's imprint had appeared on his body. This meant that Nangong Yang was one of his partners. Experience 5% increase. This made him very surprised, but no matter how the system thought about it, Nangong Yang had to be on guard against this woman, because the more scheming she was, the more she had to be. Moreover, once it explodes, it is a very, very deadly poison. Long Fei grabbed Nangong Yang's lower jaw and fiercely kissed it. Even if you are someone from the destiny god, you are still my woman now. Nangong Yang cooperated with full strength. Breathing in the masculine scent from Long Fei's body, his body slowly became soft. Finally, Long Fei fell into a deep sleep. The War Pet Space's sky swallowing rat was on guard. The next morning, Long Fei woke up very early, looked at Nangong Yang who was no longer by his side, and faintly smiled. I'm more and more interested in you now. Just what is the power behind you? He stood up and glanced at the messy bed. After tidying it up a bit, he realized there was a bit of red on the bedsheet. Long Fei's eyes trembled slightly as he muttered, Nangong Yang. Early morning. Martial arts arena had long since gathered all the disciples for the assessment. Ha ha ha. Like I said, so what if he isn't caught? To dare to challenge the elders, this is the result. Serves you right. I thought I was cocky just because I had some power. Is it good now? The bottom of the list. Ha ha ha. A burst of ridiculing laughter came from the martial arts arena. When Long Fei walked to the martial arts arena and heard their mocking laughter, he was too lazy to even check the results. It didn't matter. Long Fei could already tell the result from their laughter. Nangong Yang was the top scorer in the first round of exams. Could it be that the first round's 99 points were only second to Zhon Wushuang? As for Long Fei, first from the bottom, 0.0 points. However, this was only the first round of exams, and didn't represent the results. Nangong Yang walked to Long Fei's side. Her expression was the same as usual, as if she had not been slept in, and she had become different. On the contrary, her eyes became even more determined as she said, Your score for the first stage of the examination was 0. Long Fei laughed and said, Just listen to their laughter. Nangong Yang said, Aren't you going to ask why this is happening? Long Fei said, There's no need. The results of the first round of examinations are not representative of the final results. It doesn't matter anymore. Nangong Yang's brows tightened, and said, The tower question of God's examination is determined by combining all the results together. You scored a 0 in the first round of examination, so it'll be difficult to catch up to the rest of the exams. Nangong Yang lowered his voice and said, There are many super geniuses here, and there are only 5 spots in total. If you don't fight for them. Long Fei suddenly interrupted her. Are you worried about me? Or are you worried about my results? Nangong Yang was stunned for a moment, her eyes became colder, and she said softly, I was just reminding you. Long Fei smiled and said, Thank you. At this time, Yi Seng walked to the stage and said, The first round's result has already come out, I believe everyone knows about it. What I want to say is, the tower question of God needs people who are upright and brave, not people who want to kill too much. When he spoke, he looked at Long Fei. After he finished speaking, he had been looking at Long Fei. He was waiting. Long Fei asked him why he got 0 points, but after waiting for an entire 3 minutes, Long Fei did not say a single word. Yi Seng's heart tensed, and then he said, Losing in the first round of the assessment does not mean everything. You have entered the secret world for more than 10 days, but outside, there is only 1 day, and the monthly assessment has just started. Today will be the second round of the assessment. Slaughter evil. And then, the Yi Seng said slightly, the criteria for this assessment is, the person who saves the most, the person with the best results. Finished. A door to the secret world opened. Inside the secret world, everyone could see that inside, the evil light was enveloping everything. Countless citizens wailed in pain and struggled to survive. Yi Seng said, This is a real secret world, I hope that all of you can return alive from within. In addition, Yi Seng flipped his right hand and took out a large bottle of pills. Elder Chang Dao took it and distributed it one by one. Yi Seng said, This is a exorcism pill, no matter what the situation is, as long as you feel like it's been invaded by evil spirits, you can consume it. Let's go in. Elder Chang Dao looked at Long Fei coldly, then handed over the pill. The pill in his hand was glowing with a strange red light. Long Fei opened the system to take a look, and his heart shivered. This is a exorcism pill. Pellet, Demons Gathering pill grade, divine level stats, the user's body emits an extremely strong demonic aura. The rate of growth of the inner demon is increased by 10 times. What the F***ck is he doing? In other words, it was Long Fei. He had the system, so he could see the pill properties through the system. But, what did the red light mean? The system did not give any explanation. Then, instead of thinking about the red light, Long Fei thought about something very special. Are you trying to screw me over? You want me to have an inner demon? You sure are ruthless. Long Fei secretly tensed up. Fuck, you're still a little too inexperienced to scam this daddy. However, I will definitely play you to death. Long Fei was secretly excited. Just as everyone was queuing up to enter the punish evil secret territory, Nangong Yang suddenly sent a sound transmission to Long Fei. Long Fei, didn't you want to know who I was? I will wait for you in the evil god's great hall. Long Fei's forehead shook, his heart becoming cold. Evil god's great hall? Dark Legion? Rub. I knew that the power behind you is not simple. However, I don't care what kind of dark or light army you are. As long as it's a boss, I'll fight it out. Long Fei said in his heart. And then, Long Fei stood at the entrance of the secret world. The Yi Seng especially reminded him, Long Fei, you have been slaughtering people too often. If you encounter any unmanageable situations inside, you will immediately use the exorcism pill. Do you understand? Chapter 1370 Entering the Body. Chapter 1370 Entering the Body. Whether it was the Yi Seng who tricked him or the elder Chang Dao who tricked him, in the end, there was only one sentence, and that was to not let him return alive. The way the exorcism pill had become a demon's gathering pill was indeed extremely ruthless. However, luckily Long Fei had the system and was able to see the attributes of the pill, otherwise he would really be played to death. However, Long Fei thought of his own demon body in the god's martial continent, and his heart couldn't help but reminisce, has my sky demon body disappeared forever? My god's steelstone, has the power of my god's bone taboo disappeared forever? The moment he broke through the last level of the god's bone taboo, he could feel the power in his body transforming. The awakening of the super strong power made the ancient power in his body to open its eyes abruptly, which felt extremely comfortable. After that one instant, Long Fei no longer felt that kind of power, and after that, his tribulation ascended to chaos realm. There was no prompt from the system. He also did not sense it, but the devil body seemed to have disappeared forever, never to appear again. But Long Fei had a feeling that the demon body was still there. The god's steelstone had always been there, and so had the power of the god's bone taboo. He just lacked an opportunity to awaken it. Demon's gathering pill. It might be the chance for me to awaken my devil body. Long Fei's heart was slightly moved. Furthermore, the demon's gathering pill had been flashing red light the entire time. It's a sign that it has a special hint. Maybe it really is the awakening of the devil body. If that's really the case, then that's great. Long Fei was a little expectant in his heart as he stepped into the punish evil secret territory. With a flash of light, the door of the secret world closed. The corner of Elder Chang Dao's mouth curled up into a sneer as he thought to himself, "Brat, you're dead for sure this time, ha ha ha." As long as Long Fei consumes the demon's gathering pill, he would be invaded by the demons in his mind, and would inevitably produce inner demons. At that time, his entire cultivation would be completely devoured. Not even that. He would become an evil demon and forever be affected by the evil god's trend, never to return. This was even worse than death. This is my territory, against me. This is what happens when you go against me, ha ha ha. Elder Chang Dao laughed crazily in his heart as he released his anger in his heart. The Yi Seng said slightly, "You will guard here and pay attention to everything in the punish evil secret territory, to minimize the number of casualties, understand?" Elder Chang Dao immediately nodded, "Disciple understands." Yi Seng's figure flashed and disappeared. Once he left, the sneer in the Elder Chang Dao's heart surfaced on his face. He sneered, "Bastard, prepare to die here, ha ha ha." Long Fei landed heavily. Nangong Yang had already disappeared. Where did he go? Other than her, there were a few other people that disappeared. Long Fei did not bother about them. Quick, save them. Hurry up and save them, whoever saves the most will get the first score. Everyone hurry up and move, don't think that some people will score 0 in the exam, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Many people began to mock him. Quite a few people looked at Long Fei and revealed cold smiles of disdain. The man with the fan walked to Long Fei's side and said, "Brother Long, this punish evil secret territory needs to cooperate in battle, why don't you follow us?" In Secret World, Long Fei had killed an assessment disciple in one move, making him extremely strong. Since then, the man with the paper fan no longer dared to look down on Long Fei, and no longer mocked him. Because he began to know that Long Fei did not even put these people in his eyes. A mockery of them. They were just laughing at him. The moment he said that, the few disciples beside him immediately whispered, "Young Master Yi, what are you doing? Why should we be with them?" That's right, if the elder Chang Dao finds out that we are related to him in the slightest, it will definitely be even more difficult for us to take the rest of the exam. So what if he has some ability? No matter how good the results of offending an elder are, they are still at the bottom. Long Fei also immediately rejected it, and said, "I like a person more." Yi Jingyun said, "Brother Long, I know you are very strong, but this place is different. This is an evil place, it is extremely dangerous, and our team's battle is safer than individual combat, why don't you come with us? Yo. Invite a piece of trash to go with you guys. It seems like our young Master Yi from ancient family is really scared, he actually invited a piece of trash with 0 points to go with you guys, ha ha ha." A group of people walked up. The leader was a rather handsome man. Long Fei was immediately unhappy. The reason was very simple, it was because he was more handsome than her, so she was displeased. Yi Jingyun's brows tightened, and said coldly, "Song Kuang, who I invite has nothing to do with you, right?" Song Kuang laughed in disdain, "Of course it doesn't matter. Trash inviting trash is also a very normal thing, isn't it just a little brother being killed by me? Just because you were scared to this extent, you really did give the Yi family face." Yi Jingyun frowned. Then, Song Kuang brought a group of people and walked up, saying slightly, "Get out of the way, don't block the way." Yi Jingyun's body moved slightly, and everyone moved out of the way. Song Kuang turned around and said with a cold smile, "Yi Jingyun, I will directly crush you to death in the second round of the examination." Ha ha ha. It was extremely savage. Song Kuang, score 98 points for the first round. Was only 1 point lower than Nangong Yang. This time, the Song family had a huge force behind them. Yi Jingyun secretly clenched his fists tightly, and said, "Don't be too complacent, the assessment has only just started, it's just to see who will shatter who." "Humph," Song Kuang sneered and said, "You?" They couldn't even withstand a single blow. Finished. Song Kuang looked at Long Fei coldly, and turned and rushed down the mountain towards Evil City. Too arrogant. What's so great about that? Isn't it just second place in the first round? What is it? Waiting until Song Kuang walked far away, the few people beside him started to mutter to themselves. They did not dare to speak loudly, and could only mutter angrily. Long Fei glanced at Yi Jingyun, and said faintly, "Do you want to win?" Yi Jingyun was startled. Without waiting for him to speak, Long Fei said, "If you want to win, then follow closely behind me." Finished. Long Fei suddenly rushed down the mountain. Yi Jingyun's mind was startled, and for some reason, he felt a special sense of leadership from Long Fei, so he immediately said, "Everyone, follow me. Punish evil secret territory, Evil City." The people inside were screaming and groaning as they were constantly invaded by the evil forces. Long Fei's mission was to rescue the evil people inside the city one by one. The more people that could be saved, the better the result would be. "Fire unicorn!" Long Fei shouted out lightly. Roar! The fire unicorn rushed out of the war pet space, and Long Fei rode on it. After transforming into a ball of flowing light, it instantly charged into the evil city. However, the instant Long Fei landed on the ground, his brain felt like it was about to split open. The demons entered his body. Chapter 1371, The Evil God Assessment has begun. Chapter 1371, The Evil God Assessment has begun. Outside Evil City and inside the city were two completely different worlds. The feeling outside the city was very normal, but inside the city, it was completely different. As soon as he landed, the evil aura from all directions entered his body. It was surging crazily. Long Fei's sea of consciousness was instantly swallowed into his body by the evil aura, his body sank, and he almost couldn't stand properly. For people like him who loved to kill, who had a ruthless heart like this, it was the easiest for demons to invade. Long Fei said in a deep voice, "Protect your mind, and prevent evil from entering your body." At the same time, he shouted in his heart, as if a power was blooming in his mind. Wang. With a roar, the evil aura was expelled from his body. However, this was just the city gate. The deeper one went, the more evil aura they would feel, and the harder it would be to resist. Huff. Long Fei was perspiring profusely as he thought to himself, "Seems like this place is quite impressive after all." Yi Jingyun asked, "Young Master Long, do we take the exorcism pill?" Long Fei was startled for a moment, and said, "Show me your exorcism pill." Without any hesitation, Yi Jingyun took out the exorcism pill. However, in that instant, a disciple beside him immediately pulled him back and said, "Young Master Yi, there's only one exorcism pill. In this place, it's even more precious than holy artifact." The other side of the message was that the exorcism pill could not be given to Long Fei casually. What if Long Fei ran off with the exorcism pill? A single exorcism pill would decide how far he could walk here, and that was just the beginning. If not for the exorcism pill, it would be hard for him to even walk forward, and the second round of examination would really be like what Song Kuang had said, crushing him to pieces. However, Yi Jingyun said, "Believe in young Master Long." Long Fei received the exorcism pill from the system and checked its attributes. Looking at its attributes, Long Fei's heart trembled, and said slightly, "Looks like only my exorcism pill has been swapped." F***CK. Long Fei cursed and returned the exorcism pill back to Yi Jingyun. "Aren't you afraid that I'll devour your exorcism pill?" Yi Jingyun said, "Young Master Long needs it, you can tell me anytime." Long Fei laughed and said, "You're very understanding, not like the others. On account of you being very understanding, I'll tell you one of the key aspects of the assessment." What was Yi Jingyun's identity? The young master of the ancient families, Yi family, was actually said to this extent by Long Fei. Many of the people around him were displeased. However, Yi Jingyun had a face full of respect as he asked, "What key point?" Long Fei said, "The exorcism pill are indeed used to drive away the evil qi in the body, but the final goal of this round of examination is not to save the person, but your heart. Let's see if you have a kind heart. If you can give the exorcism pill to a citizen who has been struck by evil, I believe you will get more points than if you saved 100 people." He had to think of a crucial point in completing the mission. Were evil magic pill really used to protect their lives? Yes. But if you are willing to sacrifice yourself to save others, you will receive more rewards, and that is the key. As a game veteran, Long Fei knew very well what kind of tricks the Tower Question of God was playing. Yi Jingyun trembled slightly as she looked at Long Fei with her mouth agape. The person beside him immediately asked, "Why didn't you give it to someone who's fallen for evil qi? You can give it to me now." Long Fei grinned and laughed, "I can't sacrifice myself for another person. Of course I'll leave my pills to protect myself." "All right. I've said what I needed to say. I can only help you to this point. You must walk the rest of the road by yourself." After Long Fei finished speaking, he rushed out toward the deepest part of the street. "Young Master Yi, this brat is definitely lying to you. How is that possible? The elder said very clearly that the one who is saved is one more person." "Exactly. He's trying to cheat us." Everyone began to discuss. Yi Jingyun frowned. He looked at Long Fei's disappearing figure and secretly clenched his fists. At this time, Song Kuang walked over and mocked, "Yi Jingyun, you're still in a daze. I've already rescued 10 people, ha ha ha. How are you going to compete with me? What are you going to use to compete with me?" Yi Jingyun gritted his teeth until it made a cracking sound, then shouted out, "Save me. Save people." This was an instance dungeon quest. It could also be said to be a special quest. Giving the exorcism pill to save the ones that were struck by the evil would give them a lot of hidden points, but If he could expel all the evil in the city, this was the best hiding point. However, these points were not important to Long Fei. To him, what was important was not the points, but the experience. They rushed to the depths of the streets. At this moment, an evil knight rider on a black stallion rushed up. His long spear moved, bringing with him a thick and evil energy as he thrusted at Xiong Longfei. As long as he was pierced, Long Fei's body would be invaded by the demons. Long Fei looked at the bloody groove on his head, and the corner of his mouth curled up. It depends on how much experience you have, whether it's worth it for me to kill you. With a flip of his right hand, the golden cudgel landed in his hand and immediately swung down his staff. Eat my staff. Boom. With the staff smashing down, Evil Knight's body sank and the stallion below him whinnied, frantically trying to counterattack. Long Fei's heart trembled. Your defense is not bad. However, Samisen True Fire. The two ends of the golden cudgel combusted. With a sweep of its flames, its body attacked once again like lightning. Boom. The Samisen True Fire combusted with all of its evil power. Evil Knight was instantly crushed. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Evil Knight for obtaining 100,000 experience, 80,000 holy source and 1 energy values. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the fairy god bow. To think that the first Evil Knight would explode, and also, although the experience is not as good as the oracles, there are still a lot of Evil Knight here. As long as we kill them all, the level up would be as strong as an explosion. Long Fei immediately became excited. Bring it on. Please turn them all into my experience. Ha ha ha. In the distance. Halfway up the mountain, in the evil palace. Nangong Yang knelt in front of a huge sculpture and said slightly, Lord Evil God, he has come, I hope you can verify it yourself. The statue's eyes flashed red. The red light turned into a shadow and said, I can already feel it. There's a special aura on his body. Good, good, good. I hope you won't disappoint me, or else. His gaze exploded with a thunder-like pressure, and the pressure immediately enveloped Nangong Yang. Nangong Yang immediately said, I definitely won't let you down. Then, the red blur transformed into a ball of light and disappeared from the main hall. Nangong Yang slowly got up, looked at the gigantic evil god statue, then looked at the evil city shrouded in evil mist, and said softly, Long Fei, your examination has begun. Chapter 1372 Evil Troll. Chapter 1372 Evil Troll. The flames burned. The demon fruit and golden cudgel were simply too good to be true. He slaughtered wildly. Save people. That was something else. He came here to kill monsters and level up. As for the examination criteria, what the heck? Is this person crazy? Brainless is stupid, so what if we kill more Evil Knight? The test standard is to save someone, and this time the score is 0, there's no need to even think about it. Ha ha ha. He's just a tease. That's good as well. This will buy us some time. Everyone, hurry up and save them. There's only 1 day left. Many people saw Long Fei slaughtering his way through the crowd of Evil Knight, and all of them had faces full of ridicule, thinking that Long Fei was a fool. Yi Jingyun also saw it. He did not go up to help, because Long Fei could handle everything himself. Instead, if he did, he would cause more trouble for Long Fei. Boom. Boom. The more he killed, the deeper he went. In the end, Long Fei decided not to kill at all, and instead went around to draw aggro. Grandson, grandfather is here, hurry up and come hit me. Grandpa is here. Come, go after him. Come on. In the streets, Long Fei fled frantically. At the same time, a large group of Evil Knight followed behind him. They all had red names and wished that they could tear Long Fei into pieces. More and more, until they were densely packed. Finally, Long Fei was forced to a dead end, leaning against the wall, panting heavily. The leader of the Evil Knight bellowed, Run, keep running, let's see where you can run to. Run! Long Fei smirked and laughed. The ones running now are you guys. The idea moved. Scatter seeds which become solidars. 100,000 holy sources dropped instantly as Long Fei shouted excitedly, Kill them all. 100,000 holy source dropped onto the ground, and 100,000 magic weapon suddenly rose up from the ground. In that moment, a exquisite pagoda suddenly pressed down, directly pushing Evil Knight to the point of pooping. Pagod bearing Heavenly King Li Jing greets the Lord. Long Fei's eyes flashed. Wow, even the pagoda Sky King came out, that's great. Kill them all. Leave no one alive. The pagoda Heavenly King's eyes opened wide, falling straight to his chest. He immediately shouted out in a low voice, "Do it." Boom, boom, boom. 100,000 magic weapon instantly crushed him, killing him instantly. Ding, 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 ding. The system went berserk, and his eardrums were about to burst from the tremors. Long Fei leaned against the wall and revealed an excited smile. That's the rhythm, ha ha ha. So cool that it explodes. The feeling of experience points watching the wind, the value of holy source and striking energy value watching the wind, was simply too refreshing. In the distance. How could a group of people who didn't know the truth laugh at him while he ate the melon? This kid must have had a hard time. What a bloody slaughter. Listen to that voice. It's so cruel and cruel. Can't the Evil Knight have some sympathy and let that piece of trash go? Ha ha ha. This kind of voice only had one result. Long Fei had been crushed. Long Fei did not bother about it anymore. While he was resting, the idea stared at the demon's gathering pill and saw that it was glowing even brighter than when he was outside the city. What is it? Long Fei was suspicious. In the air above Secret World, the red illusory figure revealed a satisfied smile, sending a spirit into an army, summoning an army from another world to fight for it. This sacred art is very powerful. That's right. However, this alone is far from enough. The red shadow frowned. An evil force surged into the depths of Evil City. Next. Rumble. The ground began to shake violently. It began to crack, and huge fissures appeared. One building after another began to crack and crack. Rumble. Another explosion came from the depths of the earth. What's going on? A major earthquake. The disciples in the city were in a panic as the black evil aura emerged crazily from the huge crevices. It was extremely thick and it sucked a lot of the people on the ground into the crevices. Boom, boom. It immediately turned into a cloud of blood fog. There's something underground. Rumble. In the center of the city, a building suddenly bulged. An enormous demonic demon beast crawled out from the ground. Its entire body was covered with an evil aura, and its entire body seemed to sink into the sky. Looking up, it was hard to tell just how tall he was. Evil troll. It's the evil troll. Get out of the city, everyone, hurry up and leave the city. At the same time. Who failed the examination? The Punish Evil secret territory space violently trembled as such a situation had never happened before. The center of Elder Changdao's brows shook, and he ordered Oracle to open the door of Secret World. Looking at the evil troll crawling out from the depths of Evil City, his expression changed. Evil troll. This Punish Evil secret territory is actually hiding a evil troll. How could this be? Could it be that brat? Elder Chang Dao immediately thought of the demon's gathering pill that Long Fei had consumed to activate the evil troll. Elder, should we let them out? A Oracle said. This was a sudden situation. Furthermore, if you were to encounter such a situation, you must first ensure the safety of this disciple. Just as Elder Chang Dao was about to give the order for everyone to come out, he saw a figure flying inside the secret world. Long Fei's figure. He's not dead yet. Elder Chang Dao's eyes turned sinister as he changed his mind. An assessment is an assessment. You cannot stop it just because you encounter a sudden situation. This way, we can test the results of their training. The Oracle said, but. Elder Chang Dao immediately stopped him. There's no but. It was also at this time. Another Oracle said, that brat is still alive. The gazes of all the Oracles tightened. All of them were people who had come out of the first round of Secret World S towards Long Fei. Every single one of them hated Long Fei to the bone, and he had not only humiliated them. Furthermore, it also made it possible that they would never be able to enter the tower question of God. This hatred, they would forever remember in their hearts. Then, a Oracle said, Nothing happened in the punish evil secret territory. Yes. Nothing happened. Then, the door of the secret world closed. Elder Chang Dao smiled. This time you're not dead yet. Outside Evil City. The disciples that had run out shouted loudly, "Quickly let us out. Quick, let us out. Open the door of the secret world, and let us out. We don't want to die inside. This goes beyond the scope of the assessment. Let us out." However, even if they screamed until their throats ruptured, no one would care, and the secret world gate wouldn't even open. Rumble. When the evil troll swept the area, a whole batch of them were swept away, unable to resist at all. Furthermore, at this time, the system sounded out a notification. Ding. Chapter 1373 Empyrean 1 Rod. Chapter 1373 Empyrean 1 Rod. The system sounded out. Ding. The time for the scatter seeds which become solidars is over. Paggard-bearing Heavenly King Li also disappeared. Crap. Long Fei frowned, his body quickly jumped, and finally stood at the top of the city, staring at the important evil troll, his mouth suffused with an excited smile. Black gold light. What F** king level boss is this? Boom. It wanted black flames to rush towards Xiong Longfei. Dense evil energy formed a shockwave. Rumble. Long Fei's body bounced, and with a heavy leap, he flew more than 100 meters away. So powerful. Long Fei was secretly speechless. It was also at this time. The entire body of the evil troll that crawled out from the depths of the ground was exposed, its muscles exploding. Long Fei's body shot out of the city. Boom, boom, boom. The people in the city were constantly being corroded by the evil aura as they screamed in pain. Hurry and open the secret world's door. Hurry up. Long Fei looked at the disciples who were taking the examination, and their faces turned pale as he said lightly, "If you want to beg someone, you might as well beg yourself. If you want someone else to open the door, you might as well kill this evil troll yourself." Humph. Aren't you capable? Go ahead. A disciple immediately shouted. That's right, don't you have the ability to withstand the full power of Elder Chang Dao's attack? Since you're amazing, then go and do it. Why did you run out as well? Brat, this is all because of you. Why didn't you save a good person and run into the depths? You were the one who lured out the evil troll. All of them pointed their spearhead at Xiong Longfei. Long Fei couldn't help but find it funny. You guys want to pass the assessment this way? If there's the slightest bit of accident, then call me the heavens and call me the earth. I'll just go straight home and drink some milk. Long Fei, who do you think you are? What qualifications do you have to criticize us? Yeah, go on, go kill the evil troll. What are you running out for? I think you're the scariest. If you have the ability, go kill him. Everyone refuted. Yi Jingyun said, "We are all brothers who are being tested together. We should unite together to fight against the evil troll, and not blame them here." Song Kuang laughed coldly. Yi Jingyun, the results of this assessment depends on the number of people you save. How many people are you saving now? You want us to go in and fight against the evil troll to our deaths? You really know how to think. That's right, they want us to die here. You and Long Fei are the same, and your results are at the bottom, yet you want to drag us to the bottom? In the end, even Yi Jingyun started to attack. Yi Jingyun said, "If we can eliminate the evil troll, wouldn't we be able to save even more people? What is the purpose of everyone coming here? It's to save people. Everyone can definitely go in and fight the evil troll together." Yi Jingyun said anxiously. However, no one paid any attention to him. Evil troll were different from ordinary evil knight. The evil energy he released could not withstand it at all. There was only one exorcism pill, so no one knew how long he could sustain it. Once their minds were invaded by that evil energy, they too would turn into evil monsters. No one took the risk for any reason. Because of fear. Sigh. You want to pass the examination? Even if you guys were to pass through the tower question of goddess to enter ancient holy battlefield, you would still be people who would sell your countries for honor. Long Fei disdained. Song Kuang sneered, "You make it sound so nice, why don't you go yourself?" Long Fei said, "Open your dog eyes wide and look clearly." Long Fei took a step forward and instantly rushed towards Evil City. Yi Jingyun shrank back. "Young Master Long, wait for me." The disciples beside him hesitated for a moment before gritting their teeth and following him. The remaining people looked at each other. "Young Master Kwong, could it be that this is a special examination?" "That's right, the Tower question of God's examination never had a specific standard. If we get the most points from killing the evil troll, then we..." Song Kwong's brows slightly tightened, and said indifferently, "No rush, this evil troll is not that easy to kill. The mantis stalks the cicada and the oriole. Let them test the waters first." Song Kwong was like an old cunning fox. "You guys take charge of attracting his firepower. I'll think of a way to kill him. The evil troll definitely have a weakness," Long Fei immediately said after entering the city. Yi Jingyun said, "Young Master Long, be careful." Long Fei immediately said, "You must consume the exorcism pill on your bodies at the most crucial moment. You must not let the devils invade your mind or it will become crippled." Zhong Xian warned. Long Fei moved his body and quickly teleported out. Yi Jingyun said solemnly, "Follow me, all of you." In the sky, the red image smiled and said, "Long Fei, what other trump cards do you have that you haven't used yet? To deal with evil troll? Heh. Let's see how you deal with it." Evil trolls were frantically erupting, the evil chi on their body frantically releasing, absorbing the people on both sides of the street. Woo woo. The fan in Yi Jingyun's hand moved, transforming into a semicircular weapon, slashing in the air, forming a strong arc of blade chi that hacked down horizontally. Boom. The evil troll's eyes swept across, two blood-red pupils fiercely staring at Yi Jingyun. Buzz. In this instant, a dense evil aura engulfed him like an avalanche, rushing into his sea of consciousness. "Young Master Yi." The four were startled and wanted to block it. At this moment, Long Fei looked down from above and roared out loudly, "Eat this." The golden cudgel became larger, thicker and longer, as it fiercely smashed down with a weight of 108,000 kilograms. Furthermore, at this moment, all of the strength in Long Fei's body exploded outwards. Boom. Boom. A sky-upholding strike. "Monkey, lend me your strength." The three true fires on the golden cudgel combusted, and a burst of power followed. The golden cudgel soared into the sky, flames burned crazily in the clouds, and fiery lightning flashed around the clouds, crackling non-stop. Kill. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The golden cudgel ruthlessly smashed onto the head of the evil troll. Crack. The evil troll's body sank, and the enormous bloody groove above his head crazily decreased. It was also at this moment that the evil demonic energy that was attacking Yi Jingyun was interrupted. Rumble. 83727221. It was a critical hit with more than 80 million damage. However, in that instant, the power on his body burst out even more savagely. A black halo sprang out from his body, and with a twist of his body, he instantly pounced back. The black halo emanating from his body was like a gigantic hand pressing Long Fei onto the ground. With an extremely savage roar, he shouted, "Die!" Chapter 1374. I want to kill you. Chapter 1374. I want to kill you. Savage. There was no other word to describe the expression on the evil troll's face. The more than 80 million damage dealt made him very uncomfortable and angry. All of his strength crushed Long Fei. Long Fei was instantly pressed to the ground by the evil demonic energy, causing him to be unable to move. The gigantic evil troll stared fixedly at Long Fei with its two blood-red eyes, waves after waves of evil chi surging forth. All of the evil chi in the evil city was absorbed by Long Fei. The evil troll bellowed, "Die!" At this moment, the sky-swallowing rat said lightly, "Boss, let me out." The Yuan Yang big beast said, "Let me out." Even Black Flame said, "Against this evil thing, you should let me do it." Long Fei grinned, "Since all of you are so confident, then come out and kill him." Roar. A heaven-shaking roar sounded, a gigantic beast rushed out from the void, straight towards the evil troll. Rumble. The Yuan Yang big beast instantly knocked the evil troll away. At this moment, the aura of the black flames that filled the sky formed a hurricane and sucked the evil troll into it. Within the hurricane, It was as if thousands of blades were strangling the evil troll and fresh blood surged into the sky. In a few seconds, the evil troll's body had already filled with hundreds of thousands of wounds. In the air, its pair of gigantic eyes slightly opened, and the sky-swallowing rat directly opened its mouth and swallowed the incomparably huge evil troll. Gudong! The sky-swallowing rat bellowed, heaven-swallowing power, explode. Rumble! The gash on the head of the gigantic evil troll instantly dried up. Instant kill. At this moment. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing evil troll for obtaining 100 million experience, 100 million holy source and 1 energy values. Just as Long Fei was about to release his striking energy value, he saw a red figure descending from the sky. If that's the case, then it doesn't apply. If good steel was used on good sabers, the striking energy value would naturally be left to the strongest boss. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient spiritual treasure Evil Wand. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient spiritual treasure Evil Heart Mirror. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient spiritual treasure Evil Armor. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient spiritual treasure Evil Blood Pupil. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient spiritual treasure Evil Devil Sword. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient spiritual treasure. A series. It was the same color of ancient spiritual treasure, and it was even an evil superset. 15 pieces. A boss with a black and gold glow had dropped 15 ancient spiritual treasure. It was simply heaven-defying. Long Fei's little heart could not bear it. At the same time, the golden cudgel crazily devoured the energy. Ding! The energy has been filled up, and the golden cudgel has gained 3 levels of energy. Ding! The energy has been filled up, the golden cudgel has gained the energy of the 4th layer. Ding! After the energy is filled up, the golden cudgel will obtain the energy of the 17th floor. This was his first time filling up with energy at such a high level. Every layer of energy was filled with different summoned power of the Sun Wukong. Where would the energy of the golden cudgel fill up to? He didn't know. However, it was fine with that, but the key was that the energy of the 17th floor was enough to fill the Sun Wukong with the power to defy the heavens. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, star level 7. Boom! The Yuanyang Big Beast descended and stood behind Long Fei. Boom! The black flames transformed into a pregnancy and landed behind Long Fei. Boom! The sky-swallowing rat also descended and stood by Long Fei's side. All of them were Long Fei's war pets. When they landed behind Long Fei, the visual impact was incredibly strong. Yi Jingyun and the rest were all dumbstruck. This. Did they still want to King live? The evil troll was instantly killed. What were these 3 monsters? The strong ones exploded. The people outside the city had no idea what was going on. They were all dumbfounded and looked stupefied. It was too hard. This is trash. If this was trash, then they wouldn't even be considered trash. Yi Jingyun's eyes revealed a look of envy. Isn't this a little too powerful? At this moment, Long Fei looked into the sky and said, "Are you still not coming out? How long are we supposed to hide here, evil god?" The red shadow in the air looked very similar to the eyes of the evil troll. Clearly, this was the monster that he had summoned. Ah, ha, ha. Laughter sounded out in the sky. Long Fei, you have really surprised me. Sky-swallowing rat, a unique divine beast. Legend has it that only those who cultivate devouring vein have the chance to wake him up. You did it. The super warbeast of Yuan Chao World, the invincible warbeast of Yuan Chao World, you got it again. Black Flame, this should also be a super great powerhouse of another world. These fellows all want to enter the ancient holy battlefield. I never expected them to be with you. I have to admit, Long Fei, you are truly extraordinary. So, the shadow of the evil god moved, and an idea appeared in front of Long Fei in an instant as it lightly said, "From today onwards, why don't you follow me?" As soon as he finished, Shadow of Evil God looked at Long Fei seriously. The entire evil city fell silent, and everyone's mind tightened. Nangong Yang's heart tensed up. It was the same for Yi Jingyun, Song Kuang, and the other disciples who were taking the examination. What kind of existence was the evil god? The existence of gods. If Long Fei agreed to his request, then they would know everything that had happened here. None of them would be able to leave, and all of them would die here. Black Flame reminded him softly, "This man is very powerful, you have to be careful." While they were talking, he released his strongest power, faintly awaiting his next move. The Yuan Yang Big Beast was also showing its super battle mode. The same goes for Sky Swallowing Rat. The three powerful figures were already facing this great enemy. This showed just how powerful the evil god was. It was so strong that it made people tremble. Long Fei smiled with great interest, and said, "You are so lazy, and want to hang out with you. Isn't it too low grade? Why don't you just follow me?" The entire audience was stunned. Black Flame and the other two were stunned as well. Are you crazy? What kind of person was the evil god, to actually dare say such words to him? Nangong Yang immediately sent a sound transmission to him. Long Fei, you can't be this unreasonable. He is the Lord Evil God, the leader of the Dark Army. Long Fei shivered slightly, a smile appeared on his face, and he said, "You are the leader of the Dark Army who was beaten up by the Army of Light? It's really low." The evil god's eyes darkened as he coldly said, "Do you want to die?" The corner of Long Fei's mouth rose, and said, "I want to kill you." Chapter 1375 Evil God's Fury. Chapter 1375 Evil God's Fury. I want to kill you, Long Fei said truthfully. The shadow of evil god in front of him was the ultimate boss of the evil city. Under such circumstances, how could Long Fei not want to kill him? He had said it before. Whether it was the light faction or the darkness faction, as long as it was a boss, he would give it his all. If they didn't kill the boss, then what was the point in doing so? As soon as Long Fei's voice fell, the formal evil city became even more terrifyingly quiet. Waves of evil aura surged and rolled, directly covering the entire sky. The evil city was shaking even more violently. Everyone felt their scalps turn numb. He actually dared to speak to the evil god like this. Was he courting death? Or was he seeking death? Crazy. He's crazy. Damned thing, he wants all of us to die with him. Long Fei, you will die a horrible death. Many people began cursing. Fighting against the evil god? Or was it an evil city? Even if he had 9 lives, it would still not be enough to kill him. Nangong Yang's eyes trembled. She definitely did not expect that this would be the case, as this evil killing ground wanted to let the evil god test Long Fei and absorb him into the city's Dark Legion. From the looks of it, it was completely out of her expectations. Nangong Yang was shocked and immediately sent a sound transmission to Long Fei. Don't go against the Lord Evil God, even if he is just an illusion, you are not the opponent of him. Hurry up and admit your mistake. She was a little worried that Long Fei would die. No one had ever dared to use such a tone to speak to the evil god before, and no one had ever dared to challenge his dignity. Long Fei acted as if he did not hear, and repeated himself, "You don't seem to be able to hear me, I'm saying, I want to kill you." Rumble. 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 The sky exploded, black lightning flashed crazily, wreaking havoc, as if it was heavenly retribution. Long Fei did not pay attention to them at all. Evil God's voice was cold to the extreme, and said, "Do you know who you're talking to? No one dares to speak to me like that, you're the first. I can forgive you this once." Without waiting for him to finish speaking, Long Fei immediately interrupted him and said, "Don't, why spare, even if you say that, I will not forgive you." Cluck, cluck. The anger that exploded from the evil god's body was being suppressed at a maddening pace as it clattered loudly. The evil aura in the sky became even more violent, turbulent, and surging. Long Fei. It was simply lawless. Nangong Yang kept reminding him non-stop. It was completely useless. Long Fei didn't listen to him at all. Now, the evil god was angry. Even if Long Fei had lowered his head, it would still be useless, not to mention that with Long Fei's personality, he basically would not lower his head. Martial Arts Arena. The punish evil secret territory trembled even more violently. The oracles all looked calm, but their hearts were in turmoil. Elder Chang Dao's eyes slightly narrowed, and said, "Long Fei, you offended me. This is what happens to you, you won't be able to survive no matter what, ha ha ha. I don't care who you are. There will be no good result if you go against me." He could open the door to the secret world anytime he wanted. However, the man with the long blade was not in a rush to open it, because he wanted Long Fei to die in Evil City. He was very clear in his heart that the pill in Long Fei's hand was not exorcism pill S, but demons gathering pill S. As long as he consumed it, his sacred art would be taken over by the demons and he would become an evil demon. According to the rules of the Tower Question of God, once the demons grew inside his body, he would be eliminated. Disciples who were sent by Tower Question of God to ancient holy battlefield required a heart of radiance. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Elder Chang Dao laughed out loud in his heart. Punish evil secret territory trembled crazily, as if she was about to burst at any moment. The evil god was angry. He was truly furious, staring straight at Long Fei. The evil qi in the entire evil city was sucked out, and even the ordinary people who were afflicted with the evil qi had instantly recovered. All the evil qi in their bodies were sucked out. I like your arrogant personality. But there is only one ending for you to be so arrogant in front of me. Die. The evil god's voice was overcast, and dense evil qi gathered frantically behind him. Long Fei sent a sound transmission to Yi Jingyun, and said, "Take your brother and leave this place quickly. Remember to immediately consume the exorcism pill, quickly, quickly." The evil god's power was too strong. Once the evil qi he absorbed exploded, the entire evil city would be engulfed, and everyone would have to die, so Long Fei was not worried. Because he still had 3 chances to revive. Yi Jingyun's face darkened, and immediately said, "All of you, quickly retreat from Evil City. Young Master Yi, what about you? We have to go together." Yi Jingyun looked at the Long Fei in the distance and said, "I will stay. All of you, leave quickly. This is an order." The 4 of them looked at him, hesitated for a moment, then quickly fled out of the city. Yi Jingyun reminded them, "Take the exorcism pill and eat it in the blink of an eye when the evil god erupts. Remember." Then, Yi Jingyun quickly approached Long Fei. It was also at this time. Long Fei sent a sound transmission to Nangong Yang, and said, "You should also leave this place quickly." Nangong Yang did not leave, he flew towards Long Fei as well, and then landed heavily, immediately kneeling down, and said, "Lord Evil God, please spare him." Not waiting for her to finish. "How dare you?" The evil god was infuriated, and the surging evil aura engulfed Nangong Yang. Boom. Thousands of meters away, Nangong Yang was buried within the ruins. Swish. "You dare to touch my woman? You're courting death." Long Fei was also furious at that moment, and his body rose from the ground, floating in the air, parallel to the evil god. The evil god stared at Long Fei coldly and said, "With just you? You want to go against me? Sky-swallowing rat? Yuan young big beast? Black flames? Chimph, just based on these? Brat, you don't even have the qualifications to oppose me, do you understand?" Long Fei on the other hand, sneered, and said, "With a low profile like you forcing me to move without the 3 of them doing anything, I alone am enough." Then, Long Fei immediately retracted his idea and took them back before the Yuan Yang Big Beast and the others could reject him. It was also at this time. He had always been giving Long Fei a chance. It had to be said that he valued Long Fei a lot, and he was so arrogant and lawless that it fit his character as an evil demon. But Long Fei was too arrogant. This kind of person was either too conceited or too stupid. No matter what kind of person he was, he had to die. Because the dignity of the evil god was inviolable. The evil god laughed coldly, and said, "Brat, since you want to die, I can only grant your wish." Demonic chi rushing heaven. Boom. The evil aura that had been brewing for a long time turned into a hurricane, and the hurricane's bottom was like a black sharp spear that pierced towards Xiong Long Fei. At this time, Long Fei's idea was connected to the golden cudgel. Chapter 1376, Dark Do Sheng. Chapter 1376, Dark Do Sheng. No diamond, no porcelain. Since he said he would, then Long Fei definitely had to have a trump card. The energy filling up of the 15 ancient spiritual treasure added to his 2 previous energies, made a total of 17 levels. This was the highest time Long Fei had seen this. What kind of power could he awaken? Honestly speaking, Long Fei himself was not clear either, but when facing a boss, you must attack it. Moreover, the evil god made Long Fei very unhappy. Moved his woman. Nangong Yang had been touched by him before, and that was his woman. Long Fei's idea entered the group of Golden Cudgel and shouted in a deep voice, "Monkey, what kind of power can the energy at the 17th floor awaken?" Ding. System prompt. Do you wish to trigger 17 levels of energy? Yes, sir. Long Fei looked at the tornadoes descending from the sky without any hesitation. Ding. System notification. Player Long Fei has activated an energy main artifact of the 17th floor, obtaining the power of a Dark Do Sheng. Time, 15 seconds. Do you want to activate it? Dark Do Sheng? Is this a Sun Wukong in an bewitched state? Heh. I like this state. Then. Long Fei moved, his hands holding onto the golden cudgel as he looked at the evil god in the sky. Activate. Buzz. The aura on Long Fei's body was suddenly different. Streams of primordial dark energy surged out, and at this moment, the golden cudgel that was shining with a golden light also turned black due to the corrosion of the darkness. The dark energy lingered, and even the samisen true fire turned dark. Long Fei's entire body was filled with the power of darkness. The space between the evil god's eyebrows tightened, the strength in your body. The evil god belonged to the darkness, and Long Fei's power belonged to the darkness as well. They should be of the same type. However, the darkness energy that was being released by Long Fei was obviously higher than the evil god's evil aura. However, the dark energy around Long Fei's body could only be felt by a boss of the level of the evil god. Nangong Yang, Yi Jingyun, and the others simply could not sense any change in Long Fei's strength. Long Fei, run! Young Master Long, run! Nangong Yang exclaimed as he rushed out of the ruins. Run! He should be the one running. Boom! The tyrannical and unruly temper of Long Fei burst forth as the Sun Wukong who had fallen into the darkness was not restricted in any way. It was also the most primal of him, so no matter what he faced, as long as he was not happy, he could only say one word. Do it. His figure changed, instantly appearing in front of the evil god as he grimaced. I've said it before, if I kill you, I alone will be enough. As soon as he finished, the black golden cudgel in Long Fei's hand smashed down fiercely. This was a strike that pierced through the heavens and earth. The evil god laughed coldly, as he said complacently, Long Fei, so what if you possess this kind of darkness energy? I am just a phantom, your strength is simply. Before he could finish his words. Bam! In midair, the evil god was directly bombarded downwards. Evil god idea, a spirit body. Under such circumstances, normal attacks would not be able to hit him. However, was the Dark Do Sheng's power a normal power? A staff was thrown down. You have to admit it when you say you're low, do you understand? You're proud to be here with me? Can't hit you? I'll beat your shit out of you. Long Fei's body fiercely exploded as an incomparably thick darkness energy heavily smashed down, like a nuclear bomb smashing down. Rumble. The explosive power formed a super shock wave that swept through the entire Punish Evil secret territory. The examinees on the distant hillside were all dumbstruck. Their hearts jumped in their chests and they even forgot to breathe. Impossible. That's absolutely impossible. How could that brat have such powerful strength? He even smashed the shadow of evil god down. This is too unbelievable. This was a crazy tempo. Song Kwong's face turned ugly. He had humiliated Long Fei several times, but now, realizing that Long Fei didn't even pay attention to him, wasn't because he was afraid of him, but because he simply disdained him. Ignorant state. He felt displeased. Rumble. At this moment, a black golden cudgel appeared in the air and attacked again. Rumble. The ground cracked. Shadow of Evil God was firmly pressed down and immediately got beaten up by Long Fei. Arrogant. The evil god is amazing. Huh. Ah. The golden cudgel in Long Fei's hands continued to smash down, not giving the evil god the slightest chance. It firmly smashed down on him. The power of the dark Do Sheng was truly not just for show. Strong performance. Long Fei was anticipating more and more what kind of power the golden cudgel would unleash when it was filled with energy. I'm really looking forward to it. The energy of the 17th floor was the dark Do Sheng. Long Fei could not imagine what kind of realm the energy of the garden had reached. The evil god roared, "Don't you know the consequences of offending me?" Long Fei laughed, "I don't know what will happen if I offend you, but I know very well what will happen if I don't kill you. Ha ha ha. Brat, I am the evil god, the leader of the dark army. There is no benefit in opposing me." The evil god continued to speak. Long Fei said, "I'm sorry, but there are benefits only if I kill you." He didn't even know how he was crushed by Long Fei. How could a mere Chaos Realm martial artist do that to him? However, no matter what kind of power he used to resist, it was impossible. The darkness energy on Long Fei's body was far too strong, completely surpassing the evil aura on his body. However, he is the evil god. How could the leader of the dark army be killed just like that? Moreover, the more power Long Fei erupted with, the more he liked it, and the more he laughed madly in his heart. "Good kid, I didn't think you would still have such a powerful strength. Good, good, good. This is even better. If I let you submit to me, then I might as well let my evil energy completely control you. You will be like a nail impaled into the army of light. When that time comes, I'll use you, ha ha ha." And then, the evil god gave up on resisting. Instead, he fused the evil god's mark within his own body into the evil aura. He was waiting for the moment when Long Fei's mind would relax. The blood on top of the evil god's head gradually drained away. The 15 seconds of dark Do Sheng also decreased. And then, looking at the amount of blood on top of the evil god's head, Long Fei used all of his strength. With a swing of the staff. This staff was enough to kill the evil god. However, after he smashed the staff down, the evil god's mouth revealed a pleased sneer, and the enormous evil aura behind Long Fei swarmed forward, pouncing. Chapter 1377, Devouring Demons Gathering Pill. Chapter 1377, Devouring Demons Gathering Pill. It was the most powerful technique. A staff fell. When the blood on the top of Shadow of Evil God's head drained, it became 0. At this moment, 15 seconds of Dark Do Sheng's time was over. Long Fei's body suddenly sank. Once he relaxed, he sank into an uncomfortable feeling of his body being hollowed out. At this moment, an enormous evil energy with the evil god's mark wildly rushed into Long Fei's body. Buzz. In that instant, Long Fei's entire body was occupied by the evil aura. His mind, his limbs, and even every single pore on his body carried a strong evil aura. Ah! Long Fei let out a roar, black-colored flames shot out of his eyes, his entire eye turned pitch black, and his expression became extremely sinister. The demonic energy has entered my body. The evil demon has entered my body. Ha ha ha. Brat, you're crazy. So what if you kill the Shadow of Evil God? Right now, the evil chi has entered your body. Even if you don't turn into an evil demon, your heart has already been invaded by the evil demons. The Tower Question of God definitely cannot have a disciple like you who has been invaded by the evil demon. Ha ha ha. Your examination is over. Song Kuang laughed excitedly. Seeing Long Fei exploding with such power, he felt a trace of fear, jealousy, and hatred in his heart. Now that they saw Long Fei being devoured by the evil demon, and in addition to that, the evil god's evil chi entering his body, it was impossible for ordinary exorcism pill to do anything in this situation. Long Fei was definitely demonized. He was about to become an evil spirit. Song Kuang laughed excitedly. Long Fei, quickly consume the exorcism pill. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Nangong Yang shouted loudly. At this time, the only thing she could think of was exorcism pill. Yi Jingyun also shouted loudly, "Exorcism pill, hurry." However, they did not know that Long Fei did not have any exorcism pill on him, but demons gathering pill. The evil god's voice continuously resounded in Long Fei's mind, and said, "Brat, originally, it was fine as long as you submit to me. But now, I want you to become a puppet, ha ha ha. You asked for it. This is also the result of going against me, do you understand?" The evil energy crazily corroded every part of Long Fei's body, balls after balls of black qi surrounded and engulfed him, and Long Fei's entire body was suspended in the air. His body was completely out of control. At this moment, his body felt like it was being bitten by billions of ants. The pain was worse than death, and his body was constantly being controlled. His sea of consciousness was occupied by evil energy. The same was true for his mind. He couldn't control it. His body was about to lose control, and in such a situation, even if Long Fei died, it would be useless. The evil god would not give him the chance to die. Ah! Long Fei roared in pain. He was extremely unhappy. Evil god laughed loudly. "Kid, are you feeling good? Ha ha ha. I have already given you a chance and I don't know how to cherish it. Now, you can just become my evil god's puppet." Long Fei was unable to take control of himself. Strength. Just what kind of power can be controlled? Long Fei opened up the system to continuously check, but it was actually. There was no power that could withstand the invasion of the evil aura from hell, not at all. Swish. Suddenly, he saw the demon's gathering pill that was frantically flickering with red light. Long Fei became angry and shouted in a deep voice, "If you want to play, play with the big one. You want to control this daddy's body, right? Then let's take a look. Who exactly is controlling whose body?" And then, Long Fei moved his hand, took out the demon's gathering pill and swallowed it. Demon's gathering pill converged all of the demonic aura into his body. He must be crazy. Long Fei was completely willing to throw caution to the wind. "I'm not happy, no one can be happy." Angry, Long Fei bit off the demon's gathering pill and turned it into. At this moment, the sky surged. Deep within the earth's core, power surged. The entire evil city began to shake violently. The evil god stared blankly before asking, "What did you just do? What did you do?" "Heh heh. You'll know soon enough," Long Fei said with a cold smile. Evil city. The reason why the evil aura was so dense was not because of the evil god, but because this was a special secret world. Thus, only here would the evil knight be born, and then there would be the monster evil troll deep underground. Long Fei's demon's gathering pill gnashed it into pieces, and with the evil god's evil aura acting as the catalyst, countless of evil auras moved about in the sky and on the ground. Boom! An evil force burst out from the ground like a fountain. In this instant, that evil energy rushed towards Xiong Longfei and poured all of it into Long Fei's body. Boom! In the sky, a ray of black, evil lightning struck heavily onto Long Fei's body. Boom! 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 Streams of evil energy surged out and the evil energy from the entire evil city crazily flowed into Long Fei's body. At this moment, Long Fei's body had lost its leading role. That means losing control. But the same goes for the power of the evil god. The evil god is the king of all evils, his evil power is the strongest, but Long Fei was only the shadow of the evil god, its power was not even 1/1,000,000th of the evil god's. Furthermore, the evil auras that were hidden in the Punish Evil Secret Territory S had the power of millions of years, and these evil auras were all the power of ancient evil. The heretical god force was instantly dispersed. At this moment, the evil god's profound spirit chi was like a street rat in Long Fei's body, being crazily beaten up, being even more ferocious than the dark Do Sheng's beating just now. He could not take care of himself at all. Long Fei's body floated in midair. Countless evil energies turned into pillars of energy and poured into his body. The scene was extremely horrifying and indescribable. Everyone was dumbfounded. How could this be? Nangong Yang's face was overwhelmed with shock. The matter had developed to such a point that she had never even thought of it. Long Fei sneered in his heart, "Evil god, Didn't you just ask me if I was feeling good or not? I'm feeling great, aren't I? Ha ha ha. The evil god was enraged, and said, Brat, even if you blasted my aura out of my body, with such a powerful ancient evil chi entering my body, do you think you'll be able to live? Long Fei said, Who said I'm going to blow your chi out of your body? The power of the evil god is so great. Since it has entered my body, how can I be polite with it? The evil god's voice trembled as he asked, What are you trying to do? Long Fei grinned, What do you want to do? Heh heh. Of course it's to absorb your power and transform it into mine. The evil god's eyes turned sinister as it yelled, Do you think you're worthy of possessing my power? Not worthy? Heh heh. Then Laozi will let you know what it means to be worthy. Long Fei laughed excitedly. Inside his body, a surge of energy from the god's suffering force was starting to move. Chapter 1378 Red Hair, Shanks. Chapter 1378 Red Hair, Shanks. Using evil to fight evil. It was just like using poison to deal with poison. With the explosion of the Demon's Gathering pill, all the hidden evil aura in the entire Punish Evil secret territory was completely released, and Long Fei's body also completely entered the sea of evil aura. In this situation, even if Long Fei refined the power of the evil god's chi, he himself would also be devoured by the evil aura. However, Long Fei was not worried. This was because a change had been occurring in his body since he had swallowed the Demon's Gathering pill. A surge of energy started to surge out from his body. It slowly merged with the evil chi. Long Fei did not control it because he felt a familiar aura. The aura of a god's steelstone, a god's bone taboo. The evil god's power was becoming more and more unable to endure it, and it continuously roared, charging into Long Fei's sea of consciousness and shouting, Let me out, kid. Get out. Call me father. Long Fei laughed and said, Enter into my body, and after acting tough, you want to go out? Do you think my body is yours? What's wrong with the evil god? If the evil god provokes this daddy, then this daddy will do the same. Long Fei did not take control of his own body. Instead, he allowed the strand of power in his body to surge crazily. Moreover, the amount of ancient evil chi flowing into his body was also increasing more and more. The evil god chi had been completely forced into a dead end, and he was beginning to struggle for his life. You lunatic, you will regret everything you've done today. Then you're wrong, I, Long Fei, will never regret what I have done. Long Fei grinned, Killing your shadow of evil god is the same, I will never regret it. The evil god was extremely unhappy. He had originally wanted to take over Long Fei's body and turn him into his own puppet. The shadow of evil god possessed a tiny bit of the evil god's power. However, but this was related to the evil god's face. Being beaten into such a sorry state by an ordinary martial artist, the evil god, who was on the shoulder of the god, was extremely unhappy. However, he couldn't do anything about it. Kid, I will remember this. In the ancient battlefield, I will show you my cruel ways. The evil god roared loudly. At this moment, the ancient evil energy had devoured his power. The system also chimed in. In that moment, Long Fei's heart trembled, and he shouted out, Release the level 4 berserk energy. This was a super boss. Even if he was just an idea of the evil god, he was still a super boss. If Evil Troll could release 15 pieces of ancient spiritual treasure, then this shadow of evil god could definitely do even more, and all Long Fei's could only release their striking energy value. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Shadow of Evil God for obtaining 100 million experience, 100 million holy source points, and 1 energy values point. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient holy artifact Evil Spirit Armor. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient holy artifact Evil Spirit Sword. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient holy artifact Evil Spirit Blood Vein. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the ancient holy artifact Evil Spirit Bracelet. Also at this moment, Long Fei muttered, Ancient holy artifact. Wasn't it supposed to be ancient spiritual treasure? How is the golden cudgel going to devour them? So boring. The evil troll should have already dropped 15 pieces of ancient spiritual artifact, so logically, this shadow of evil god should have had even more, but he didn't care at all. How could Long Fei be interested in the ancient holy artifact that was revealed? What he wanted to do more was to allow the golden cudgel's energy to fill up the slowest realm and see what kind of strong power he could unleash. Before he could finish speaking, the golden cudgel quickly began to devour him. Ding! The evil spirit battle robe has been swallowed. The energy has been filled up. The current energy is 10 levels. Ding! The evil spirit sword has been swallowed. The energy has been filled up. Currently the energy is 20 levels. Ding! The demon spirit bracelet has been swallowed. The energy has been filled up. Currently the energy is at level 30. Damn! Long Fei's eyes moved, his heart was in ecstasy. Ancient holy artifact, 10th floor's energy jump, this. Ha ha ha. It's equivalent to 30 ancient spiritual treasure s, ha ha ha. This time we're rich. What sort of power can the 30th level possibly erupt with? War God. Is the holy Buddha more overbearing in terms of strength? Long Fei's heart was filled with incomparable anticipation. However, the show had just begun. This was only the basic explosive rate for Shadow of Evil Goddess Ding. Player has released level 4 Berserk Energy. Please choose Domain Treasure Series, Water God Treasure Series, Heavenly Court Series, Animation Series, Game Series, Wyman Series, Mecha Series, Universal Unknown Series. Please choose. A bunch of choices appeared in Long Fei's mind. Long Fei was a little excited in his heart. Level 4 Berserk, what should I choose? Huff. Pick any one. Long Fei moved and said, Animation Series. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the King's domineering red-haired fragrance call card. Heh. Oh my god. What an idol. Long Fei looked at the 3-scarred Xiongku at the corner of his eye, and his heart filled with ecstasy. Ha ha ha. The domineering king with red hair is awesome. Ha ha ha. Long Fei's favorite people were the 3 people in One Piece, the red-haired, eagle-eyed and Sauron. Red hair was first. Because he was really strong. The crucial point was, his power would be boosted to its peak by the berserk red hair of the 4th level. The domineering aura of a king. Ha ha ha. Long Fei could not help but let out a laugh. That's great, it's too good to explode. Why is he still laughing? Mph, he must have gone crazy. The evil demon has entered his body, there's no saving him. You called him arrogant, is that the end of your arrogance now? Serves him right. The last exam had scored a 0. This time, the evil demon would directly enter your body. Even if you survive, you would be kicked out of the examination grounds by the Tower Question of God. Ha ha ha. Everyone began to discuss. Yi Jingyun and Nangong Yang looked at the mid-air Long Fei. The evil aura from the secret world was still crazily surging into his body. No one knew. Yi Jingyun said, think of an idea, if this goes on, young Master Long will lose his life. Nangong Yang shook his head, it's no use, the evil god is too strong, our power can't even move him at all. He didn't know why. Nangong Yang's heart ached. She felt that she had let Long Fei down a little, because she was the one who woke the evil god up and recommended him to her. Nangong Yang looked at Long Fei who was in midair, and said faintly, I'm sorry. From today onwards, we will owe each other nothing. Nangong Yang remembered what happened at Fireglass City. She was Long Fei, but now, the hatred in her heart disappeared. She knew that Long Fei basically could not live. Chapter 1379 Magic Baby, New Demon Body. Chapter 1379 Magic Baby, New Demon Body. In such a situation, the chances of Long Fei surviving were close to 0. Everyone in the city looked at Long Fei. At this moment, outside the secret world, the trembling of the Punish Evil secret territory weakened and eventually disappeared. The elder Chang Dao immediately ordered some people to come here, but they did not open the exit. That scene in the secret world. Elder Chang Dao laughed. With so many evils in your body, even if you don't die, your life will be over, ha ha ha. Long Fei, do you feel good going against me? The elder Chang Dao laughed coldly. He muttered in his heart, "I never thought that Demon's Gathering Pill would actually have such great power." Many of the surrounding oracles sneered in disdain. "Serves you right." One of the oracles said, "Elder, do you want to go out now?" The elder Chang Dao said, "No rush, let's properly enjoy the temporary scene before him. This must be extremely fun." But, at this moment, Elder Chang Dao frowned and immediately closed his eyes. A few seconds later, the Yi Seng descended and asked, "How was the assessment?" Elder Chang Dao regained his composure and replied, "Reporting to the elders, everything is normal." Yi Seng nodded and said, "En, report to me immediately if anything happens." Elder Chang Dao replied, "Yes, disciple." After that, the Yi Seng left. He lowered his voice and said, "No one is allowed to say a single word about what happened today." Understood. The oracle disciples all nodded. The disciples of the exam all had a huge background. In order to deal with Long Fei, they were treated as cannon fodder. If this matter were to spread, he would be severely tortured by the Tower question of God. It would be hard to turn things around in his life. Disregarding the safety of this disciple was a serious crime. Elder Chang Dao smirked and said, "Prepare to die inside." In the secret world, the evil qi started to crazily rush into Long Fei's body, and at the end, started to crazily absorb the evil qi from the secret world. Gradually, the power in the Great Perfection Heavenly Tribulation controlled the initiative, and crazily devoured the ancient evil energy of the secret world. The ancient evil energy that had entered Long Fei's body started to revolve crazily, forming a huge vortex. The center of the vortex was the power of the Heavenly Tribulation at the perfection stage. Long Fei felt a power about to erupt. There was a force to be awakened. That very familiar feeling. Half an hour later. Boom. The entire Punish Evil Secret Territory's ancient evil qi was completely absorbed, and with a sudden retraction, Long Fei floated in midair. The eyes were black. His entire body was covered in an evil black aura, making him look like an evil demon. He has become an evil spirit. Stop controlling the demons. Everyone, be careful. The disciples outside the city became cautious. Nangong Yang and Yi Jingyun also slowly retreated. If Long Fei was really controlled by the evil demon, then they would be in danger. They were all on guard. However, all the citizens of Evil City kneeled down. "Thank you for saving us. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord." Long Fei had absorbed all the evil in their bodies and they had now become normal people. They would forever remember this favor, no matter how Long Fei turned into. Without Long Fei, they would still be controlled by the demons. At this moment, as the citizens of the city kneeled down to thank Long Fei, the things on their bodies slowly flew up, gathering around Long Fei bit by bit. Boom. The power in Long Fei's body moved suddenly, and completely absorbed the crystal clear light into his body. Boom. Another rumble. The energy on Long Fei's body began to wreak havoc as the whirlpool of ancient evil qi swirled even more fiercely. It did not spin outwards, but turned inward, and started to absorb the energy into the Great Perfection Stage Heavenly Tribulation. What are you trying to do? Don't tell me he devoured all of the ancient demonic energy. F***CK. What is that power inside your father's body? Long Fei himself was a little dazed. The last time he felt Shenyuan Great Emperor's aura being devoured, it was just too strange. The Azura King once said that there was an even greater power hidden within his body. Long Fei did not know what that power was. After devouring the essence energy of Great Emperor Shenyuan, and now has come to devour such a massive amount of ancient evil energy. Just what the hell is this power? Boom. Boom. Long Fei's body was like a spiral galaxy, gathering the spirit energy that was being absorbed by the commoners, and followed the ancient evil qi into the energy. A deafening explosion. Long Fei did not feel any discomfort. On the contrary, he felt incomparably comfortable, just like the spring breeze blowing against his face. Rumble. A loud sound echoed out. All of the ancient evil aura was drawn into that power. At this moment, the energy expanded and suddenly surged as it began to frantically condense. The energy in his body was like that of a pregnant child. This feeling was similar to the one he had when he was at the 9th level of the God's Bone Taboo, and it felt like he was about to be born. 3 minutes later. Buzz. A loud explosion resounded from his body. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Magic Baby. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a special reward from the system. The reward is the Demon God of the Nine Tribulations Sword. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining Magic Baby with a special reward of level +1. Ding. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, 3 level. He had just gained 1 billion experience from killing the Shadow of Evil God, and his level rose from star level 7 to Chen level 2. Now, he was level up again. Ding. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining Magic Body. Would you like to convert it? Demonic Body. He was back. Moreover, it was not only the Devil Body. Long Fei could clearly feel the energy coming from the God's Steelstone and the God's Bone Taboo that were suppressing Han Ba from within the Magic Baby. The Magic Baby had fused with them. F***ck me. Long Fei slowly descended to the ground, his entire body was extremely excited. My devil body has returned, ha ha ha. Become stronger. Magic body. Powerful. Ha ha ha. Not only that, Long Fei's body did not have any evil chi, and he did not have any demonic powers, he was as pure as an angel. Because all of the demonic energy had been absorbed by the Magic Baby. It was the embodiment of evil in the ancient times, and was also the result of refinement by a perfect God's suffering force. His strength. Immeasurable. However, right now, he was only in the nascent soul stage. Just like a baby in its infancy, he needed to grow. Long Fei silently thought in his heart, just what is that power in my body? Could actually produce magic body? Isn't this too unbelievable? The key point was that that force had only been able to reveal 2 tiny sprouts. Just like a bean sprout, having such powerful strength at this stage, what would happen when he grew up? It was also at this time. The elder Chang Dao smiled and said, "You can open the secret world's exit now." Chapter 1380, Perfect Achievements. Chapter 1380, Perfect Achievements. What's the situation with Long Fei? Did the demons take control of his body? No one knew. At this time, the secret world's gate suddenly opened, causing everyone to be shocked. However, they did not hesitate, and quickly escaped the secret world, not daring to stay for long. Young Master Kwong, let's go out. No matter what, this kid is useless today and doesn't have the qualifications to compete with you. Exactly. Even if he had not been possessed by the evil demons, he could not save a single person. What are the criteria for the examination? Save him, had he done it? No. Even if we go out, it would still be 0 points, ha ha ha. The group of people beside Song Kwong all started to mock him. They had all seen clearly that from start to finish, Long Fei had never saved anyone, not even a single soul. Even the commoners in Punish Evil Secret Territory had all been saved by him. But what were the criteria for a mission? To save the city, and not just the city. None of the Long Fei's had scored a single point in their second round of examinations. Song Kwong also started to laugh complacently. He looked at Yi Jingyun, who was not far away, and laughed. "The young master of the Yi family, you want to follow him? The more you muddle through, the more miserable you'll get, ha ha ha." Song Kwong laughed proudly, and turned to walk towards the exit of the secret world. Yi Jingyun did not bother about him. He walked over quickly to Long Fei's side and asked, "Is young Master Long all right?" Nangong Yang also looked at Long Fei from afar and did not speak. Long Fei gently shook his head and said, "It's fine, go out." Yi Jingyun nodded, and said, "Okay." His heart was in shock. On the surface, it looked like Long Fei was fine, but in reality, what was going on? Yi Jingyun wasn't confident either. How could it be all right under those circumstances? Long Fei stopped by Nangong Yang's side for a moment, then walked towards the exit. Nangong Yang still did not speak. Finally, when Long Fei disappeared at the exit of Secret World, her tears dropped with a pa-da sound. In that instant, Evil God Palace unleashed a powerful force. Buzz. It directly exploded in Nangong Yang's sea of consciousness. Boom. Boom. One by one, the examination disciples came out of the secret world, all of them feeling as if they had just survived a disaster. The instant Long Fei came out from the secret world, the gazes of all the oracles tightened. He's still alive. Impossible, how can he still be alive? He doesn't even die. They were very surprised by Long Fei's appearance, because they clearly saw that Long Fei was about to die inside the secret world. More importantly, his aura was not that of a star-level cultivator. It was that of someone breaking through to the Chen level. Could it be that he broke through in such a short period of time? The moment Long Fei walked out, he saw Song Kuang whispering by Elder Changdao's side. Yi Jingyun immediately said, "That brat Song Kuang must be in top secret." "Young Master Long, this time, I'm afraid." The corner of Long Fei's mouth lifted slightly, and said, "Don't worry. Demon's Gathering pill was not an ordinary pill, it was a pill that could take a person's life. Since you want to play, then let's see who plays who to death." Long Fei secretly sneered in his heart. Elder Chang Dao nodded slightly as an ice-cold smile appeared on his face. He silently thought in his heart, "Kid, I won't kill you this time around." The last one to come out was Nangong Yang. When she came out, the secret world doors closed. It was also at this time that the elder of Yi Seng walked into the training grounds. With a faint smile on his face, he said, "Seems like your performance in this assessment is not bad." Then, the Yi Seng looked at Elder Chang Dao and said, "Have the results come out?" Elder Chang Dao immediately said, "Real statistics." The Yi Seng elder looked at Long Fei, who was at the back of the crowd, and said, "Punish evil secret territory. The test is to save someone, and that is to test your kind heart. The number of people saved is not the only criterion." As soon as he finished, many people's faces turned cold. What's the situation? Didn't we use the number of people who can save to determine the result? That's right. Why did it become a test of the human heart again? No matter what the test is about, we won't lose. Don't forget, there's still someone with 0 points. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Many people looked at Long Fei, who was at the back of the crowd. All of Long Fei's attention was on the magic baby. Although he was Long Fei's new demon body, even without changing his body, he could still feel it. The power in his body was very strong. Furthermore, the demon god of the 9 tribulations sword was spinning in the infant's hand. The power of the 9 tribulations sword was the strongest black dark magician power Long Fei had felt so far. It was as if God's suffering force was being born in that sword, and it was the power of the dark tribulation. How strong was he? Long Fei really wanted to experience it. He was extremely engrossed, and did not pay any attention to the surrounding people's mockery, nor did he care about it at all. A few minutes later, one of the envoys said, "Elder, according to their identity token, the results have been calculated." Yi Seng said, "Take it up for me to take a look." Oracle handed it over, and Yi Seng took a look at it. His gaze was startled, and stared straight at Long Fei, who was behind the group of people, his face secretly trembling. Seeing his expression, and seeing the way he was staring at Long Fei, Elder Chang Dao laughed coldly in his heart. "Brat, you got another 0, right? Ha ha ha. Unbelievable. To think that you would get 100 points, the first 100 points in the history of the second round of the examination. Even Zhon Wushuang, this kind of genius who had decided on things, only got 90 points. You actually managed to achieve a perfect score." Yi Seng was shocked. As soon as he finished, everyone was shocked. Who got 100 points? Who else can it be? He's definitely our young Master Kuang. He's the one who saved the most people. Who else could he be? Ha ha ha. Young Master Kuang, congratulations. There are very few people that can surpass Zhon Wushuang and her. Young Master Kuang is too awesome. Song Kuang also laughed excitedly. If someone scored 100 points in this exam, it would undoubtedly be him. Song Kuang slightly cupped his fists, revealed a pleased smile, and said, "Tonight, I, Song Kuang, will treat everyone to a meal. Everyone should go down the mountain for a meal. You can order whatever you want to eat." Ha ha ha. Everyone began to congratulate him. Congratulations, young Master Kuang. Congratulations, young Master Kwong. Young Master Kwong, the first place of the examination this time will definitely be yours. Young Master Kwong, you are too powerful. Many people began to praise him. Song Kwong looked at Long Fei, who was at the side, and sneered. He turned to Yi Jingyun and said, Young Master Yi, I think you should just follow a piece of trash in the future. He was showing off. Yi Jingyun was a little unhappy. Song Kwong started to laugh complacently. He was extremely pleased with himself. Elder Chang Dao felt that something was amiss when he saw Song Kwong. He walked up to him and asked, Clan Elder, just who got the perfect score in the end? Unexpectedly, there are even more of them than Zhon Wushuang. Yi Seng laughed blandly, Long Fei. Chapter 1381, Bro Just Like That. Chapter 1381, Bro Just Like That, Long Fei. With that, the entire audience shook. There was complete silence. Song Kwong, on the other hand, stood on the spot with a stupefied face, completely dumbstruck, as if he had been slapped in the face by someone, his expression extremely ugly. Elder Chang Dao was also stunned, and asked again, Clan Elder, are you saying that Long Fei has gotten a perfect score? Yi Seng smiled slightly. That's right, he has reached the perfect standard for this assessment. Other than him, a few others have good results. Yi Jingyun, 96 points. Nan Gongyang, 95. Li Changfeng, 94. Song Kwong, your results are also pretty good at 80 points. The results came out one by one. Everyone was dumbfounded. The results of these people were simply a huge blow to Song Kwong. One slap after another sounded out as their bodies sunk in, the rage within them attacking Song Kwong's heart and his entire person spitting out a mouthful of fresh blood. Phut! With an extremely pale face, he said, Impossible, impossible, this is impossible. I saved the most people, and I should be the one with the best results. It can't be that trash. Everyone was puzzled. Even the elder Chang Dao did not quite understand. How could this be? Yi Jingyun also had a face full of doubt, and so were his brothers around him. They were the ones with the highest scores, but they were just like him. In terms of saving a few people, they were not even able to save a tenth of Song Kwong. Suddenly, Yi Jingyun's face sank, and he suddenly thought of something. He turned around to look at Long Fei, and the worship in his heart became even more intense. Young Master Long, you already know everything. Young Master Yi, are you talking about the matter of young Master Long making us feed the exorcism pill to the common people? This is too strong, isn't it? How is that possible? If Yi Jingyun had not insisted them to give the exorcism pills on their bodies to the wounded commoners to eat, they would not even care about the lives of those people. Moreover, when Long Fei was last absorbed into the body by the evil god, they regretted it immensely, because the exorcism pill had already been used up by that time. They once hated Long Fei, but now, there was only respect and worship for Long Fei. Too strong. Song Kwong rushed forward and said with a heavy tone, Impossible, I saved the most people, and it's impossible for it to be that trash who has the best result. Yi Jingyun immediately shouted out, Song Kwong, who are you calling a trash? Song Kwong's eyes stared wide open as he shouted, I said he is trash, and not only is he trash, he is also an evil demon. Song Kwong suddenly turned around and pointed at Long Fei, who was behind the group of people. Long Fei lowered his head and thought deeply, how should I raise the level of the magic baby? He was thinking about this right now. As for the results, as for the gazes of the surrounding people, he didn't even spare them a glance. Sensing that the surroundings had quietened down, Long Fei raised his head and muttered, Dismissed. With that, he turned around and was about to leave. The elder Chang Dao shook violently and shouted, Long Fei, you are too presumptuous to actually dare to disregard your elders. If I don't teach you a lesson, you won't even know your limits. At this moment, the magic baby raised its eyes. Suddenly, Long Fei's gaze turned sinister as his anger flared up, and he said, You're giving me a lesson? If you have the guts, come at me. You're not coming. You're my grandson. The nascent soul lifted its eyes. Anger. The anger instantly ignited Long Fei. Elder Chang Dao's eyes turned sinister as he immediately became angry. You're too arrogant. Long Fei grinned and laughed. It's not the first time you've heard about it. I've been arrogant since I was young. Ah! Elder Chang Dao was so angry that smoke was coming out from his head, but under his rage, he let out a cold laugh and said, "Don't be impatient, let's see how you can continue being so arrogant today." While they were talking, he looked at Song Kuang. Song Kuang immediately said, "Elder, I seriously doubt their results, and I have something to say." Yi Seng also felt that it was a little strange. Zhon Wushuang was an existence of super geniuses, but even he did not manage to achieve a perfect result, so how did Long Fei do it? Even he couldn't do it. Yi Seng slightly said, "I can't explain my perfect result, but I can give a clear explanation of Yi Jingyun, Nangong Yang and the rest's result, because they gave their own magic pill to the citizens. This is great love. Even if they only saved one person, their result would still be above 90%. However, Yi Seng looked at Long Fei. Honestly, he also wanted to know how Long Fei did it. As soon as Yi Seng finished speaking, everyone was surprised. Giving exorcism pill to the common people in the evil killing place was disregarding their own life and death. Yi Jingyun's heart trembled, as expected. Young Master Long is too awesome. Nangong Yang's expression did not change at all, because at that time, she already did not want to live anymore. Song Kuang's face sank, his fists clenched tight, and said, "Okay, even if Yi Jingyun and the others get high marks for their love, then what about Long Fei? What about his results? Did he give his magic pill to the common people as well?" Yi Seng's brows tightened. He looked at Long Fei and said, "Long Fei, do you want to explain it to everyone?" The corner of Long Fei's mouth curled up, and said, "There's nothing much to explain. If you really want me to explain, there's only one reason." "Explain? Explain your big boss. Why explain?" Song Kuang immediately laughed out loud, and said, "Long Fei, everyone knows what happened in Secret World, it's useless to explain any further." At this moment, Yi Seng looked at the gathered oracle. One of the oracles stood up and replied, reporting to Great Clan Elder, "Long Fei's identity token shows that he saved the entire population of Evil City, and the number of people was 109,800. As soon as he finished, the entire arena was shocked. Even the Yi Seng himself was stunned. He was extremely excited and said, "Are you sure you did not count wrongly? Saved the entire city? How is this an evil city, a place with dense ancient evil qi? Even if they were to save people, it would be impossible to save the entire city." Oracle slightly said, "I don't know about that, but his identity token shouldn't indicate anything wrong." Ha ha ha. Yi Jingyun laughed loudly, and said, "Song Kuang, did you hear it clearly? Young Master Long saved the whole city. What about you? How many people did you save? Ha ha ha. You think you can compete with Young Master Long? You don't even have the qualifications to lick Young Master Long's shoes. Ha ha ha. Saved the whole city. What kind of concept was this?" Even Yi Seng would not be able to react in such a short time. She looked at Long Fei with a dumbstruck expression and muttered to herself in a low voice, "This is too unbelievable. The record of the identity token will not be wrong." Song Kuang's face revealed a cold smile, and said, "So what if we have saved the entire city? Tower Question of God are people from the Light faction. Even if he passes the examination, and is able to clear the 100 levels of Tower Question of God, what would happen if a person with an evil demon body enters the Light faction?" Yi Jingyun bellowed, "Song Kuang, stop speaking nonsense." Song Kuang immediately took a step forward and pointed at Long Fei's nose, saying, "Do you dare to test?" Chapter 1382 Breaking of All Fingers. Chapter 1382 Breaking of All Fingers with evil in his heart. This was no small matter. Once the evil energy in his heart was detected, even if the Tower Question of God did not pursue the matter, they could not let him continue to cultivate. This was a principle. Evil belongs to the Dark Army, and cannot be allowed to join the Light faction. Long Fei slightly raised his eyes. Song Kuang proudly repeated, "Long Fei, do you dare to test?" Long Fei looked at the hand pointed at his face, and said, "You better take your finger away, otherwise you'll break it later." Ha ha ha. Song Kuang laughed complacently, and said, "I'm already pointing it out, what can you do? You are an evil demon, you don't dare." Not waiting for him to finish. A roar that sounded like a pig being butchered rang out, and Song Kuang's hand was directly snapped off by Long Fei's single hand. His entire finger was stuck to the back of his hand. Long Fei said sinisterly, "I said it, your fingers will be cut off later. How dare you?" Elder Chang Dao was secretly happy, but his face showed slight anger. "Long Fei, this is the examination grounds of the Tower Question of God, you dare to hurt me?" Long Fei's mouth curved up, revealing a disdainful smile. He stared at Elder Chang Dao and said, "So what if you're hurting people? If you don't like it, I'll hurt you too." Too arrogant. Where's the oracle? Kill them all. When Elder Chang Dao's voice fell, the surrounding oracle immediately charged forward. Yi Jingyun also immediately moved closer to Xiong Longfei and said, "Elder, it's all because of Song Kuang. Clan Elder, Long Fei was too angry so he did such a thing." At this time, the old man beside Nangong Yang asked, "Master, what should we do?" Nangong Yang stood at the side and said, "Don't worry, he can handle it." Song Kuang's entire body was in cold sweat from the pain. He shouted loudly, kill him for me, he is the evil demon, kill him." Not waiting for him to finish, Long Fei stared coldly at Song Kuang and said, "You still like to shout, right? Then I'll let you scream your fill today." As soon as he finished, Long Fei's figure moved, and he directly grabbed onto Song Kuang's arm. His 5 fingers moved, and grabbed onto one of Song Kuang's fingers, as he fiercely broke it apart. Ah! A finger snapped. He tried again, catcher, ah! Catcher, catcher. A series of explosions occurred. All 10 fingers bent onto his arm, causing Song Kuang to be in pain. His face was pale white, as if he was a pig that was being butchered, and he was in so much pain that he wished he was dead. He fell to the ground and started twitching. Long Fei laughed coldly, "Enough." Then, Long Fei looked at the surrounding oracle and laughed coldly. "You had best not provoke me," he said coldly. It carried with it an aura akin to being crushed by a king. The power of a demonic god's aura. Demonic god, martial saint. Savage to the extreme. The surrounding oracle froze for a moment and slowly stopped. Elder Chang Dao's eyes darkened. He shouted, "Attack." At this moment, Yi Jingyun and the 4 brothers immediately stood beside Long Fei. The Yi Seng's voice shook for a while, before speaking in an imposing manner. "Stop." Elder Chang Dao's brows tightened, and said, "Elder, he looks down on the Tower Question of God, we can't leave such a disciple alive. If we don't kill him today, how will we deal with these people in the future? What will the people think of us? Where is our Tower Question of God's face?" Yi Seng's eyes turned cold, and he said, "Don't take your hat off." Then, Yi Seng looked at Long Fei and said, "The matter of the evil demon entering the body is extremely important, you must examine this matter. Otherwise, you cannot continue the Tower Question of God's examination." Song Kuang, who was enduring the pain, stood up and said, "Elder, everyone has seen him being absorbed by the evil qi, all of the evil qi in Secret World was absorbed by him, he is definitely an evil demon, I can guarantee with my head. As long as it was tested, Long Fei wouldn't be able to dodge. Then he would not be able to escape death today." Elder Chang Dao also took a step forward, and said, "Elder, I heard a lot of people talking about this just now, that this brat was able to absorb that much evil qi and didn't die, he must have been controlled by the evil demons. Also, he clearly has an exorcism pill on him, why didn't he use it? It can be seen that he has long since fallen into a demonic state of mind. This child cannot be allowed to live." Song Kuang glanced at them. Following that, someone immediately stood out and said, "I can guarantee that Song Kuang is speaking the truth. All of us have seen Long Fei being possessed by demons. I can guarantee it too. I can guarantee it." At this time, Song Kuang's lackeys all came forward. Elder Chang Dao sneered in his heart, and said, "Elder, you cannot cause public outrage. It can be seen that there is something wrong with this Long Fei, he must be properly examined." At this moment, Long Fei's eyes darkened, he stared at Elder Chang Dao and said, "If I do not have any evil spirit qi, what will you do?" Elder Chang Dao said, "You have to check if you have any demonic qi in your body before you know." Not waiting for him to finish, Long Fei immediately interrupted him and said, "I'll just ask you one thing, What will you do if I don't have any evil qi in my body? Elder Changdao's words were cut off in a bad mood, adding Long Fei's arrogant tone, he became even more unhappy. He shouted loudly, "Kid, if you do not have any evil spirit qi, I will bow and apologize to you, but if you have evil demon qi, what do you think? Are you trying to scare me? I eat more salt than you eat rice. Would he be scared by you?" Elder Changdao was not scared by Long Fei at all. He could see very clearly that Long Fei had been possessed by an evil demon, and in that situation, no matter how deep he hid, he would be detected. Long Fei said, "If there is any demonic qi in my body, I will let you handle it." "All right. Then I will take your life," Elder Changdao immediately shouted out. At this moment, Nangong Yang stepped forward, grabbed Long Fei's arm, and gently shook his head. Yi Jingyun was also worried. Everyone had seen Long Fei being infected by the evil qi, and Long Fei had even absorbed all of the ancient evil qi in the Punish Evil secret territory. Tower question of God's detection of demons was very strict. There was no way to hide it. Song Kwong laughed out loud, and said, "Brat, just die here today, I'll see how you still dare to be arrogant, ha ha ha." The corner of Long Fei's eyes twitched. Looking at the laughing Song Kwong, he said, "Do you believe that I won't break your toes?" Song Kwong's body trembled, he swallowed his saliva, flipped his 10 fingers backwards, and immediately retreated a few steps, not daring to make a single sound. He was as frightened as a dead dog. Long Fei lightly patted the back of Nangong Yang's hand and said, "Don't worry, I will be fine." Finished. Long Fei walked up and asked, "How do we test it?" Elder Changdao laughed, "Refine 1 drop of blood essence." Long Fei followed suit, and after condensing a drop of his blood essence, he dripped it onto the black stone in Elder Changdao's hand. It was also at this time. Elder Changdao lightly moved his finger, and a drop of blood essence shot out from his sleeve. Chapter 1383, Killing Intent rose and the demonic god moved. Chapter 1383, Killing Intent rose and the demonic god moved. "Brat, let's see how I'll play you to death." Elder Changdao laughed proudly in his heart. Even if Long Fei did not have any evil qi in his body, but the blood essence he just shot out was actually filled with a dense demonic aura. As long as they could detect the evil aura within Long Fei's blood essence, then it would be impossible for Long Fei to escape. The blood essence landed on the black stone. Slowly, his blood essence was absorbed by the black stone. The Elder Changdao revealed a proud smile before the result was out, and said, "Long Fei, you have lost for sure." "Is that so?" Long Fei sneered. He did not look at the test result of the black stone because he did not need to look at it to know that his blood essence was his blood essence. The blood essence of a magic baby was the blood essence of 2 completely different bodies. The one who absorbed the evil aura was the magic baby, not him. Thus, no matter how hard they tried, they could not detect the demonic qi in Long Fei's body. However, Long Fei was not worried about the evil qi in his blood, he was worried about the tricks the Elder Changdao was up to. The demon's gathering pill was up to him. This time the evil qi test might cause him to do the same. All within that drop of blood essence, Long Fei injected a bit of power. Devouring power. Buzz. In that instant, Long Fei's blood essence permeated into the black stone and the blood essence shot out by the Elder Changdao permeated into the black stone. Long Fei instantly felt it. "Fuck, you're still trying to scam me?" Long Fei's eyes turned sinister. Boom. The power from Long Fei's blood vein quickly devoured the drop of blood essence. A few seconds passed. There was no reaction from the black stone, nor was there any demonic qi seeping out. It was completely normal. Who lost? Long Fei laughed and stared at Elder Changdao. Elder Changdao's eyes darkened, he looked at black stone and said, "Impossible, you were obviously possessed by the evil demon, how can you not have any evil qi?" Song Kwong also looked confused, and said, "Impossible, I clearly saw the demonic qi occupy his body, how can there be no reaction?" The one who was the most shocked was Nangong Yang. Her heart was filled with shock. Because she knew very clearly that the one who entered Long Fei's body was the shadow of evil god, and that he possessed the power of the evil god. After checking, Long Fei's blood essence did not have the slightest fluctuation from the evil energy at all. It was too strange. In her heart, she thought, Long Fei, do you still have any stronger trump cards? How much power are you hiding? The more he opened, the more he couldn't understand. Long Fei was too strong, and when he thought of the last words that the evil god had said to her, Nangongyang frowned and looked at Long Fei, but his eyes did not move at all. I won't. You must have done something. I clearly saw your body being occupied by that evil aura with my own eyes. It's impossible for your body to not have that evil aura. Elder Chang Dao was shocked. Long Fei immediately said, Oh, so you have been keeping an eye out for everything in Secret World. When the evil troll appeared, you did not open it, and caused us to fall into a death trap. Elder, your heart is truly vicious. Didn't you say that the life of the examination disciples was the first? You clearly know that there was a huge change in the Secret World, but you didn't let us out. Yi Seng's forehead sank as he immediately stared at the elder Chang Dao. At this moment, Yi Jingyun also said, In Punish Evil Secret Territory, we were almost killed by the evil troll. If it wasn't for Long Fei killing the evil troll, we would all have died inside. That's right. It's just that I never thought that clan elders would actually know that we're trapped in a dangerous place in the Secret World. Why didn't they open the Secret World's door and let us out? Isn't that too cruel? Isn't this too vicious? Everyone began to criticize him. Yi Seng was furious and shouted loudly, What exactly happened? Speak. His voice was like thunder, causing the few oracles beside him to tremble in fear. The power that erupted from his body was too ferocious. Long Fei's mind trembled slightly as he thought to himself, so powerful. It was also at this time. A disciple who was protecting the secret world suddenly knelt down and said, All of this is at the command of the elder Chang Dao. I am just following orders. Elder Chang Dao's eyes were filled with anger. He shouted, Bloody slander me, I have no idea. Long Fei said, You don't know? Didn't you just say that you saw it with your own eyes? Furthermore, Elder, do you not know? All of this is probably part of your plan, right? Do you know why evil troll would appear in Secret World? It's because of your demons gathering pill. Yi Seng's eyes trembled as he looked at Long Fei and asked, Demons gathering pill? What demons gathering pill? The elder Chang Dao's expression sank, and said in a heavy voice, Long Fei, be careful when you speak of it. I'm obviously giving you a exorcism pill. I don't even know what kind of demons gathering pill you are talking about. Yo! Long Fei laughed and said, Elder Chang Dao, I never said that you gave me the demons gathering pill. Why are you in such a hurry? If you say it like that, then you are giving me the exorcism pill to change into a demons gathering pill? Elder Chang Dao, you are truly malicious. What exactly did I do to make you hate me so much? Didn't I just kill you once in the secret world and then block one of your moves? It's very normal for someone to be weaker than them. Is there a need to hold grudges like this? Long Fei laughed and said, and thought, You want to play with me? I won't be able to play with you. Elder Chang Dao's face turned green for a while, then white. He said furiously, Long Fei, I don't even know what you're talking about. Long Fei said, Elder Chang Dao, if you don't know what I'm going to say, don't worry, just take out the things inside your space ring and have a look, won't you? Elder Chang Dao said, Impudent, who do you think you are, and what qualifications do you have to order me? Yi Seng's voice sank as he said faintly, Then, do I have the qualifications to order you around? Elder Chang Dao's body started to tremble, and he said, Elder, don't listen to his nonsense, I don't even know what demons gathering pill they are. Since you don't know, then take out the space ring. Long Fei exaggerated a little. You asked me to test your blood essence just now, so you can't check your space ring right now? Long Fei, don't push me too far. Elder Chang Dao gritted his teeth as he spoke. Long Fei's gaze darkened, and he laughed. From the very beginning, you want to force your father too much? Now that it's your turn, you think I'm going to push you too far? Sure. This daddy here is pushing it too far. If you have the guts, then take out all the items from the space ring. Long Fei said. Elder Chang Dao went berserk. He had many unspeakable secrets in the space ring, and could absolutely not take them out. Otherwise, he would not be able to survive in the tower question of God. In fury, Elder Chang Dao's killing intent rose. At this moment, The magic baby in Long Fei's body moved slightly, and the aura of his power moved. Chapter 1384, He is my man. Chapter 1384, He is my man. The moment the magic baby felt the killing intent in the elder Changdao's heart, it immediately became restless, like a shark sensing the smell of blood. At that moment, Elder Changdao turned his right hand, and a sword appeared. He shouted, "Brat, you forced my hand." Shua. With a flash of his sword, he fanned out. He rushed towards Xiong Longfei along with his sword. Yi Seng shouted loudly, "Stop right there." The long blade didn't care so much, he had to kill Long Fei. Long Fei's eyes darkened, he was waiting for Yi Seng to make his move. The cultivation of the Yi Seng was much higher than him, so if he were to attack, the elder Changdao would not be able to harm him at all. Yi Seng made his move. With a move of his power, he crushed elder Changdao's body. The speed of the elder Changdao slowed down a little, but did not stop. He charged towards Xiong Longfei very forcefully, and the golden light around his body was unleashed to its peak. Yi Seng's eyes darkened. "Long Fei, dodge." Yi Jingyun also cried out in alarm, saying, "Yong Master Long, quickly dodge." Nangong Yang also became slightly nervous. He could not let Long Fei die. Nothing would happen to Long Fei, because he was a thunderbolt that could change the structure of ancient holy battlefield. Long Fei's eyes darkened, his mouth curved into a cold smile, and he said, "You dare touch this, Daddy?" I said, "Don't provoke me. If you provoke me, I, your father, will make you die a graveless death." The power of the elder Changdao far surpassed Long Fei's. Without using the energy of the golden cudgel, Long Fei was not his match at all. If it was yesterday, when Long Fei was about to be crushed by the elder Changdao, even if he had a protective ring, the resurrection ring would still be useless, because these were still external forces. However, it was different now. The moment the elder Changdao's killing intent rose, the magic baby in his body became angry, and with a move of the demon god of war's 9 tribulations sword, the moment the elder Changdao's attack landed. Crack. Rumble. The sky and the earth shook as tornadoes occurred. It was as if there was someone in the world undergoing heavenly tribulation. The first part of the 9 tribulations sword, its power, erupted as the sword descended. Buzz. In that moment, Elder Changdao fell to the ground with a thud. He was squashed to the ground instantly, his body turning into a pile of meat as blood splattered all over the ground. He didn't even have time to react. The surrounding people were the same, they were still worried for Long Fei. Before the battle had even begun, it had already ended. It was so fast that even Long Fei himself was a little stupefied, muttering to himself, "This is a little too damn fast, don't you think it's necessary to be so fierce?" It was also at this time. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Elder Changdao for obtaining 10 million experience, 100,000 holy source points, and 10 energy values point. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining 100,000 experience point. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, 1. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, 2. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, 3. Ding. The system had been going berserk this entire time, crackling and rattling. The magic baby continued to level up. Every time it upgraded his body, it would become bigger by 1 level. The system beep would chime a total of 20 times, and the magic baby would instantly soar to level 20. In the blink of an eye, he had risen to level 20. One word to describe it. Ferocious. It changed from the appearance of a baby to that of a child, and the system beep rang. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for becoming a level 20 demon body, which can transform your body. Would you like to do so? No. Although Long Fei really wanted to see what the demon gods and demon god's body felt like, transforming into a body in such a situation, wasn't that equivalent to courting death? The magic body's power was too strong. Moreover, the demon god's 9 tribulations sword possessed extreme power, and this was the strongest trump card after the golden cudgel. Long Fei became secretly excited. The demon god's rank and my own rank are not the same, they are completely independent. Furthermore, the stronger the magic body's power, the stronger the power in my body will be. It was not a magic baby bred by Long Fei. It had been nurtured by the power of a paragon's celestial tribulation. The stronger the magic body, the stronger the powers of the great perfection of the heavenly tribulation within Long Fei's body. At this moment, all the Oracle S were shocked. At this moment, boom, boom, boom. The sky continuously exploded as several figures descended, and among them was the fairy, Wang Shusha. What just happened? What was that power just now? Yi Seng, what happened just now? The divine light on their bodies was much stronger than the golden light on the bodies of the Oracle S. Furthermore, Long Fei felt an extremely strong pressure. At the same time, Long Fei looked at the sky and thought, could it be that the tower question of God is really in the sky? Without waiting for Yi Seng to speak, an old man's eyes became angry, and he bellowed, who is bold enough to actually dare kill an elder of Oracle? A few powerhouses looked over and their expressions changed. Killing a Oracle elder was too much of a crime. Moreover, Elder Chang Dao was also the disciple of an elder, so the matter was even more serious. Yi Seng looked at Long Fei. He did not expect Long Fei to instantly kill him in one move either, not even enough time to stop him. Yi Seng said, Elder, this matter is a misunderstanding. Yi Seng, don't talk so much nonsense with me. I'll ask you right now, who killed my disciple? Who is it? The old man's rage raged. He released his aura one after another, crushing everything in his path. The Yi Seng continued, Clan Elder, please listen to me. Not waiting for him to finish. Pa. A slap landed on Yi Seng's face, knocking him onto the ground. His eyes became angry, and the thick golden light around his body started to crush down, as he shouted, I said, don't talk nonsense with me. The death of a disciple was akin to being humiliated. He would not let this opportunity slip by him. Moreover, the oracle represented the tower question of God. Anyone who dared to touch the oracle meant looking down on them, and was even more intolerable. No matter what his disciple did, he had to kill them. Song Kuang's eyes flashed with excitement. Brat, you're dead meat. Just when he was about to complain, Long Fei took a step forward, and said without the slightest fear, how did I kill him? In that instant, the powerhouse stared at Long Fei and said, since you were the one who killed them, then you shall die. The moment he moved, a huge wave of energy swept through him. At this moment, Wang Shusha's figure also moved as he shouted, Elder Luo. It stood in front of Long Fei, blocking his way. Luo Tianfeng stared at Wang Shusha. Elder Wang, you want to stop me? That's right, Wang Shusha said, because he is mine, try touching him. Suddenly, Wang Shusha had gone from a gentle fairy to a tyrannical fairy. Chapter 1385, Pulling You into the Water. Chapter 1385, Pulling You into the Water. Try touching him. Very overbearing. Everyone was startled, they had never seen Wang Shusha's tyrannical side. Long Fei was also slightly dumbstruck. He was shocked by the aura on Wang Shusha's body, and thought to himself, how tyrannical. Luo Tianfeng stared at Wang Shusha with sinister eyes and said, Elder Wang, you better clear up your identity. If you dare stop me today, tomorrow, I will kick you out of the tower question of God. Being stopped in front of so many people when a disciple was killed made Luo Tianfeng lose a lot of face. Wang Shusha said, Elder Luo, it is not up to you to decide whether or not I roll out of the tower question of God. Moreover, I won't let you touch him today. Luo Tianfeng's face sank again, and said, are you really going to go against me? Wang Shusha said, so what if I'm going against you? All right. I'll see what you can use to stop me. Luo Tianfeng bellowed, and the spirit qi on his body burst out. Suddenly, Luo Tianfeng's qi was released. It was extremely strong, just like a ferocious beast roaring and smashing down on them, extremely ferocious. The entire sky above the training grounds was trembling, as though the oppressive beast was about to rush out. Everyone's expression changed drastically. Too powerful. Long Fei's eyes turned sinister as he took a step forward. The idea had linked itself to the golden cudgel, and now that the energy had filled up to the 30th floor, it was his strongest trump card. Without waiting for Long Fei to come forward, Wang Shusha pulled him behind himself and said faintly, "Hide behind me and don't move about carelessly." And then, the power on her body buzzed, and the translucent and sparkling light of the Mitien crystal scattered down, forming a star shield in front of her. Luo Tianfeng's eyes turned sinister as he exclaimed, "Star shield." The surrounding elders also tensed up. Authentic artifact star shield. You actually summoned your own authentic artifact for the sake of an examination disciple? Luo Tianfeng was greatly shocked in his heart. Authentic artifact. It was a holy artifact that was linked to his own life. A holy artifact that was born from his own cultivation. He was strong, the holy artifact was strong. Holy artifact would suffer a strong impact. With his own cultivation, his own body would also suffer a strong impact. It could be said that the two were connected. Wang Shusha summoned his authentic artifact star shield immediately, which made him tense up. At this moment, his oppressive beast was instantly blocked by the star shield and shattered by the strong defensive power. Luo Tianfeng squinted and said, "It looks like you really have to go against me." Wang Shusha said, "I've said it before, he's one of my people. If you dare to touch him, I won't sit by and do nothing." The defense of the star shield was so strong that even Luo Tianfeng's authentic artifact could not break it. In terms of cultivation, they were equal, but in terms of nurturing authentic artifact, Luo Tianfeng was weaker than Wang Shusha. Luo Tianfeng became angry from the embarrassment, stared straight at Wang Shusha, and bellowed, "Wang Shusha, just you wait, from today onwards, I will not rest until I swear to you." Finished. Luo Tianfeng flung his sleeves and turned to leave. At this moment, Long Fei took a step forward and said, "Since you're here, you shouldn't be in such a hurry to leave." The entire audience was stunned. Luo Tianfeng was about to leave. What was Long Fei doing jumping out? Was he courting death? Wang Shusha's eyes darkened as he stared at Long Fei, and said with a low voice, "It's fine, retreat to the side." He could not suppress the rage in his heart from the start, but now that he was stopped by Long Fei, he felt even more unhappy. He turned around and stared at Long Fei. "You dog, why are you stopping this old man?" If not for Wang Shusha being there, in his eyes, Long Fei would already be a corpse. Long Fei smiled faintly and said, "You are the master of the elder Changdao?" Luo Tianfeng stared at Long Fei, and said, "So what?" Long Fei replied, "Nothing, what can I do? You are a high and mighty elder, I am just an examination disciple." Luo Tianfeng said, "It's good that you know your own identity. If you kill him, this matter will definitely not end, there will be someone to protect you, but you will not be able to protect him for the rest of your life." Long Fei laughed and said, "I am very clear about my identity. Since you are the master of the elder Changdao, then you should be very clear about everything about him." Luo Tianfeng looked at Long Fei and said, "Brat, what are you trying to say?" Long Fei said, "I want to say, your disciple is an evil demon, or rather, was bribed by an evil demon. What about you? How dare you?" Luo Tianfeng suddenly shouted, and said, "Brat, don't think that just because someone is protecting you, you will be safe, don't provoke me, if not, even if Wang Shusha is protecting you, I can still kill you." The defense of the stellar shield was indeed terrifying. However, Luo Tianfeng could not kill Wang Shusha, but he could easily kill Long Fei. Wang Shusha also lowered his voice and said, "Long Fei, you can't joke about this matter. Insulting an elder was no ordinary crime." Long Fei walked over to Elder Changdao's corpse and took the space ring off his finger, then he poured out the contents of the storage ring exorcism pill. Only the disciples who take the examination have this pill. Why does he have it? Finished. Another few pills fell down. Demons gathering pill. This pill is only for demonic cultivators. Why would he have such a pill? This kind of pill is forbidden at the Tower Question of God, right? Long Fei looked at Luo Tianfeng and said, "Elder Luo, the other demons gathering pills alone are enough to make the long blade die 10 times, right? You did something to me earlier, are you related to this as well?" Why not take your space ring and check it? You want to leave after acting cool? Your grandmother, Wang Shusha, protected him, but if this matter was reported to the higher-ups, she would definitely be implicated and punished. After all, he was the one who killed the person, and he was also an exam master. Thus, Long Fei had to excuse Wang Shusha. The surrounding few elders trembled, and one of the elders said, "It is indeed a demon's gathering pill. This is an evil magic pill medicine. This kind of pill is not allowed here." Luo Tianfeng's face became extremely ugly. The Yi Seng said slightly, "I wanted to tell you about this just now." Luo Tianfeng's eyes turned sinister, the muscles at the corner of his eyes twitched, and his killing intent became stronger. He stared at Long Fei and asked, "Just what are these few pills for?" And Luo Tianfeng said gloomily, "You actually want to search my space ring. You are tired of living." Searching for the space ring was as easy as being humiliated. Moreover, the matter with the demon's gathering pill made Luo Tianfeng very unhappy. If he continued to be led by Long Fei like this, it was very possible that he would be taken out of the water. The aura around his body was getting stronger and stronger, and his killing intent was getting stronger and stronger. At this moment, however, the magic baby in Long Fei's body became active. Chapter 1386, Destroy God Mine, Too Violent. Chapter 1386, Destroy God Mine, Too Violent. Wang Shusha also became cautious as he whispered, "Be careful." Long Fei smiled faintly and said, "Relax, with your protection, I will definitely be fine, big sister fairy." Wang Shusha rolled his eyes at Long Fei. "Who's your sister?" Long Fei laughed mischievously, and said, "Those few pills can't explain the problem, right? Fine. Then I'll let you see what is the most evil thing in the world." Instantly, Long Fei's blood essence stirred, and he thought to himself, "Magic baby, give me a bit of evil demon blood essence." As soon as he finished, a few drops of blood essence fell out from the space ring. The blood essence was thick and black. The moment the space ring fell out, the heaven and earth suddenly lost its luster. There was no light on the ground, and gusts of cold wind started coming out from the ground. The air was filled with the roars of evil spirits. It was as if he was in a purgatory. Those elders were fine, but the surrounding oracle and disciples were all pale in fear, their mental states unstable, and they could be penetrated at any time by the demons. Wang Shusha's face darkened. "This evil aura is actually this powerful. It's the first time in my life that I've encountered it." The few clan elders around Luo Tianfeng immediately pulled away. One of the clan elders asked, "Clan Elder Luo, what exactly happened here? This evil demon's aura contains a tremendous amount of evil energy. Your disciple has already fallen into the evil demon's hands. You must explain this clearly." In that instant, Luo Tianfeng was in a passive state. He never thought that, moreover, he would never believe that even if his disciple fell into a demon's trap, it would be impossible for him to have such a powerful evil demon blood essence. However, the truth was right in front of him. Even if he didn't believe it, it was useless. Luo Tianfeng said, "I have nothing to explain." Long Fei said, "He is your disciple, you might not know about him falling into the evil spirit, but I'm afraid that you have a lot of these things within your space ring, right?" An elder of the Tower Question of God actually colluded with the evil demon. "I would like to ask, how should this crime be counted?" The corner of Long Fei's mouth raised slightly, and he sneered in his heart, "Fight with me? Even 10 Luo Tianfeng would not be my match." The few elders' eyes shook as they said, "Elder Luo, please follow me back to the law enforcement hall. You must explain everything clearly." Luo Tianfeng stared at Long Fei, and suddenly bellowed, "Brat, this matter is not over, just you wait." The rage on his body was abruptly retracted. He thought that Luo Tianfeng would be furious and take action. That way, he would have the chance to kill him. But Luo Tianfeng did not fall for it. He was smarter than the elder Chang Dao. Then, the three elders stood guard by Luo Tianfeng's side, preventing him from escaping. Following that, 4 rays of light flashed and disappeared into the horizon. Wang Shusha looked at Long Fei and said, "Good boy." Long Fei giggled and said, "Isn't this with the support of Big Sister Fairy? Otherwise, how would I dare?" Wang Shusha rolled his eyes at Long Fei, and said, "Don't be too complacent, Luo Tianfeng's power in the Tower Question of God is not small. He will definitely not let this matter rest." Others might not be clear about it, but Wang Shusha was clear about it. The Luo family's influence in the Tower Question of God could not be underestimated. Long Fei nodded. "Don't worry, I will be careful." Wang Shusha rolled his eyes at Long Fei, then turned into a white shadow and disappeared. Long Fei looked in the direction they had disappeared in and thought to himself, "The Tower Question of God is not in the sky, it's just in the void. It's so mysterious." The many elders left. The martial arts arena disciple heaved a sigh of relief. Yi Jingyun swiftly walked to Long Fei's side and said, "Young Master Long, you're too awesome. Ha ha ha. Even the Tower Question of God's elder couldn't do anything to you. Ha ha ha." To think that killing one of the oracle's elders would be okay, and even drag the other into the water, he had to admit that this battle was quite beautiful. Even if Luo Tianfeng wanted to deal with him, she wouldn't have the time for that. The law enforcement hall of the Tower Question of God would at least let him shed a layer of skin. Long Fei slightly smiled, and said, "Pediatric." Yi Jingyun looked at the space ring in Long Fei's hands and said, "Young Master Long, take a look and see what's inside." If Yi Jingyun did not say it, Long Fei would have forgotten. Just as Long Fei was about to take out all of the items from the space ring, a light flashed in his eyes. Her heart tightened, and her heart started beating faster. Immediately, Long Fei said, "Nothing good, just trash." However, his heart was beating extremely quickly. Long Fei tried his best to suppress the wild joy in his heart as he tried to remain calm. He thought to himself, "I've struck gold, I've struck gold, ha ha ha." The Yi Seng said in a low voice, "Disband your group today. You can move about freely during tomorrow's holiday, but it's best if you don't leave this place. Today's results will be available in the morning the day after tomorrow." With that, the Yi Seng left with quick steps. Elder Chang Dao was killed. What happened in Secret World? Was the Elder Chang Dao really an evil monster? Tower Question of God attached great importance to these things. Just as Luo Tianfeng had said, this matter was not over yet. After the disbanding, Long Fei could not wait to return to his residence, closed the door, and said excitedly, we're rich, ha ha ha. We really made a fortune. F***CK. I really didn't expect that the Elder Chang Dao's space ring would actually hide this thing. Too excited. Huff, huff, huff. Long Fei tried his best to remain calm, to calm himself down, and then carefully took out the space ring. After that, the idea moved, and took out a piece of pitch-black thing that was as big as a person. What is this? Most people did not even know about it. Even the elders of the Tower Question of God did not know. If Long Fei did not have the system, he would not know either. Even if it was in front of him, he would be too lazy to take a look. However, if he were to use the system to look at its attributes, it would be out of the ordinary. Because he was a piece of ore that did not belong to this world. Why was Long Fei so excited? Simple. Because this was a piece of destroy God mine. What was a fallen god? It was the fallen gods. These gods' essence energy had been fused with each other for tens of thousands of years, hundreds of millions of years, or even billions of years. Such a huge destroy God mind stone would at least be condensed from the fall of thousands or tens of thousands of gods. Such a huge number of deities had fallen. Why is that? Long Fei was too lazy to care about it. He only had one thing on his mind right now, to use it to create a super divine weapon. Before that, Long Fei opened up the trading system, placing the destroy God mine on it. The exchange system appeared to have short-circuited and was unable to react for a long time. In the end, a string of numbers appeared on it. 999999999999999. I'll go. Too irritable. Chapter 1387, Fertility of Main Artifact. Chapter 1387, Fertility of Main Artifact. Long Fei's eyeballs were about to pop out of their sockets when he saw the numbers on the trading system. He counted and counted. It took a whole 10 times before Long Fei could count it clearly, to the point that his tongue was trembling. 10 trillion. This is a concept. Is this the tempo of buying the entire exchange hall? Oh my god. Long Fei knew that the Destroy God mine was a good thing, but he really did not expect it to be this good. It was too violent. Huff, huff, huff. My little heart. It's really going to explode. Long Fei was unable to calm his emotions. The Destroy God mine had excited him so much, even more so than when he had dropped the main artifact. Moreover, Long Fei had a feeling that if this Destroy God mine was successfully refined, it was very likely to become a main artifact. And then, Long Fei opened up the system to check the Destroy God mine's attributes. Item: Destroy God mine grade. Attribute. Description: this ore is condensed from the profound chi of the fallen god. Description 2: it originated from the ancient holy battlefield, the god who fell in the last war between the gods. Description 3: the weapons forged by this pill can cause the power of divinity to fall. Description 4: to nurture him in front of the authentic artifact, there is a certain probability of becoming a main artifact. I knew it. I knew it. Long Fei looked at the description of the last item, and his blood started to boil. Who in this world has the ore to produce main artifact? How shocking. Long Fei's heart was unable to calm down. Looking at the description written on the system, this ore was condensed from the deity that perished in the great battle between the gods last time. That is to say, the current main temple, are the current gods the victors of the previous ancient holy battlefield? If that's the case, then what Han Ba said is not wrong. Ancient holy battlefield can really change the rules and change everything. Destiny God, you mother***, just wash my ass and wait. Long Fei clenched his fists tightly. The scene of him being crushed by fate judgment was still fresh in his mind. If he did not take revenge, Long Fei would not feel at ease. He had to k him to death. So what if he was a god? Before the ancient war, they were still human beings. God was also defeated. Following that, Long Fei moved his idea, capable of killing Mosier. With the Destroy God mine, Long Fei immediately wanted to forge a divine weapon. But at this moment, Nangong Yang's voice came from outside the courtyard. Long Fei, are you there? Long Fei immediately calmed down. The Destroy God mines were like the system, no one could do it. Otherwise, it would cause chaos in the entire chaos realm. If those fellows from Main Temple knew about this, they would definitely chase after him with all their might. Long Fei opened the door and said, I was just resting. Nangong Yang said, about the matters with the Punish Evil secret territory. I'm sorry, I just wanted you to. Long Fei said, there's no use apologizing, why not be practical? Nangong Yang was startled, and said, practical? Long Fei walked to Nangong Yang's side and picked her up, then carried her directly into the room. He tyrannically threw her onto the bed and said, I don't care who you are, I don't care what your identity is, you only have one identity. My woman. One night, one night, one night, one night. Nangong Yang leaned on Long Fei half naked, and said, Elder Chang Dao is not an evil demon apostle, how did you do it? That drop of blood essence, and the evil aura that entered your body, where did it go? She had always been puzzled. After thinking for a long time, he still couldn't understand, so he came to ask Long Fei. Long Fei laughed faintly, this is a secret. The evil body was his other body. It was a brand new body, a secret that no one knew about. It couldn't be that Long Fei would tell her everything just because he killed her. Nangong Yang laughed bitterly and said, I knew you wouldn't say. She had already expected this outcome, and then she said, the second round of the examination is over, and the third round is alchemy. How are your preparations? Heh. Long Fei was startled, and said, the tower question of God's examination is so varied. The alchemy is still within. Could it be that we have to rely on our own alchemy to enter the battlefield? Nangong Yang said, tower question of God requires a talent from all sides, and also, these alchemy assessments will have additional uses, you must definitely grasp them. Take Song Kwong for example, don't just look like a playboy young master. His cultivation isn't anything good, But his alchemy is on the level of a great grandmaster, so if he can get a high score in terms of alchemy, then even if he doesn't pass the examination, he might still be able to become an alchemy master of a tower question of God. Just like him, he can cultivate in God power. Long Fei laughed. A great master of alchemy? He thought to himself, this old man has old Lord Taishang, the ancestor of the alchemy. I can use one hand to flatten any grandmaster, but old Lord Taishang only has 1 minute left. It was a headache. Loyalty stone could only fuse something brand new. Once used, it could not fuse into a permanent quality. Old Lord Taishang's alchemy was very important to Long Fei. He would never use it unless it was absolutely necessary. Use it for the assessment? Too wasteful. Long Fei glanced at his own alchemy technique. It was only at the second level, and also at the primary level. If he wanted to achieve good results in the third round, then the alchemy technique must be raised. Right. Nangong Yang said, I know that there are a few high-ranked spirit grass in this mountain. If we can obtain these high-ranked spirit grass, then the chances of us winning will be much greater. Tomorrow, let's rest. Why don't we go find these spirit grass? Long Fei was still thinking about making the Destroy God mine into divine weapons, and just as he was about to refuse, a system notification came out. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for triggering the quest to search for the ultimate spirit grass. Mission: search for the ultimate spirit grass level. S-time, 3 days reward, 2 million experience points, 20,000 holy source, 10,000 points, a special item. Tip: you can get a big lottery draw if you get an S-class score. Huh! He actually triggered the quest. Long Fei muttered in his heart. He hadn't completed a mission for a long time. Long Fei looked at the tender Nangong Yang as he said this. Do you want me to help you find a top-notch spirit grass? Nangong Yang said, if we have the ultimate spirit grass, we will have an even higher chance of victory. Long Fei said, that depends on your performance. Nangong Yang's face immediately blushed red, and then disappeared for a lifetime. In another place. Boom. A loud explosion resounded. Shenyuan Li cupped his fists and said, thank you for your guidance, elder. Ha ha ha. An elder sat cross-legged and smiled happily. Not bad, not bad. It only took you 3 days to defeat me. As expected of a member of the Shenyuan clan. Let's go up. Your senior brother, Zhon Wushuang, is waiting for you at the top. On the 100th floor of the tower question of Goddess, Shenyuan Li broke through yet again. Every time he took a step forward, Shenyuan Li would think of Long Fei, I will definitely succeed. Big brother Long Fei, I will definitely avenge you. Of course. Chapter 1388 Land Flower. Chapter 1388 Land Flower. The next day, early in the morning, Nangong Yang arrived at Long Fei's courtyard wearing a set of tight clothes. She left late last night. Long Fei looked at the incomparably hot Nangong Yang, thinking that she had become more attractive, and even prettier, than before. She said slightly, women really need nourishment. He filled a basin with cold water and poured it on himself. After changing into a clean set of clothes, he said, let's go. Young Master Long, bring me along. Yi Jingyun stood at the courtyard entrance. Long Fei asked, where are you going? Yi Jingyun said, Young Master Long, I will go wherever you go. Right now, he admired Long Fei from the bottom of his heart. Respect and admiration were like the unending river waters. Long Fei took a glance at Nangong Yang, and thought to himself, I was still thinking of coming out for a few wild battles, looks like. Nangong Yang said, one more person and one more helper, let's go together. Long Fei said, then let's go together. Yi Jingyun immediately laughed and said, many thanks young Master Long. Right. On the way here just now, many groups of people went down the mountain. The third test is on alchemy, they should have gone down the mountain to look for spirit grass. Are we also going to look for spirit grass? Long Fei said, how do you all know what the third stage exam is? How come I don't know anything? Yi Jingyun said, young Master Long, I also heard some news from those oracles. I also heard that yesterday's incident was a bit serious. After Elder Yi Seng left yesterday, he hasn't returned yet. I'm afraid something bad is about to happen. Huh. Long Fei glanced at the sky, and couldn't help but feel a little worried in his heart. Big Sister Fairy, are you alright? What happened to the tower question of God? Long Fei didn't know. However, he was now certain that the tower question of God was just like an ordinary sect, full of schemes and scheming. Right now, even if something happened to the tower question of God, Long Fei had no choice. He didn't even know where the entrance to the tower question of God was. Long Fei muttered, and said, "Let's go." The three of them went down the mountain, with Nangong Yang leading the way, with Long Fei and Yi Jingyun following behind. "Young Master Kwong, they are coming down the mountain." Song Kwong's gaze turned sinister as he said coldly, "All right. How's it going?" That disciple said, "The news has already spread. Last night, Hellgate's powerhouse should have arrived. This is a great opportunity for Hellgate." Song Kwong laughed coldly, and said, "Nobody would dare to touch you in the tower question of God assessment grounds, but after leaving this place. Long Fei, you are just a dead dog. I don't believe that you won't die this time." Ha ha ha. Song Kwong laughed out loud. The pain in his fingers made him suck in a few breaths of cold air. "Long Fei, just you wait." This was also Song Kwong's first time here. How did he know that there were land flower at the profound peak cliff? Because he was also told to go for a walk. 4 hours later. Huff. Nangong Yang exhaled a breath of air, looked at a dark, cold and dangerous peak, and said, "There's a land flower on this profound peak cliff." "Then let's go up." Yi Jingyun immediately said. Long Fei pulled him back in one go and said, "With such an easy-to-pluck spirit grass, it's no longer an ultimate spirit grass. These kinds of spirit grass are all nurtured in the world, and with the ferocious beasts protecting them, it's still extremely difficult to harvest them." Nangong Yang said, "You are right, this kind of land flower has absorbed the essence of the earth for 10 years. It will take root for 10 years, sprout for 10 years, scatter for 10 years, blossom for 10 years, and mature for 10 years. It will take 50 years to harvest. Moreover, it's not easy for this land flower to guess the peak of profound mountain cliff." Yi Jingyun secretly clicked his tongue and said, "A spirit grass formed in 50 years. This is the first time I've heard of it. However, since he's on the peak, I'll just fly up." As soon as he finished, Yi Jingyun took a step forward as his entire body fell to the ground. His entire body was covered in a layer of frost and he was trembling from head to toe, his face pale. Long Fei said, "This is called earth protection. No matter where you are, the strongest power is not the human being, but the power of nature." Long Fei looked at the dusky patch of land above his head. It looked like it was nothing, but there was an Earth Guardian's power on top of it, forming a powerful obstruction. It was impossible to fly up, even with Fire Unicorn S. Yi Jingyun said, "Then what do we do?" Long Fei said, "Climb up." Nangong Yang said, "That's right, only by climbing the mountain peak will we have a chance to pick land flower." At this moment, a cry came from the thick clouds, and the lightning and thunder from the clouds continued to wreak havoc. Nangong Yang trembled slightly, and said, "The land flower is about to mature, let's hurry up, it only has a minute of time to mature, if we miss it then it's useless." And then, Nangong Yang quickly teleported out. Long Fei looked at the thick layer of clouds, where lightning was raging, and muttered, "Are demon beasts still hiding within these clouds? My devil body needs to level up as well." Along the way, he did not encounter any demon beast, which made Long Fei very unhappy. The demonic figure was only at level 20 and was still at the child stage. This level was too low, and the demonic god was only a child. This way of appearing on the scene would make them feel uncomfortable, not oppressed at all. He had to grow up. The land flower is about to mature. Everyone, hurry up. Not only Long Fei and the others knew that the land flower S were about to mature, many people in the forest also knew. They were all rushing towards the profound peak cliff where the land flower S were. In the dark corner of mysterious peak cliff. Will he really come? This place is extremely cold. If he doesn't come, then it would be too much of a disaster. The news can't be wrong. Moreover, this is a desperate ambush point, as long as we can knock him down the cliff. Elder, What exactly is at the bottom of this cliff? I don't know what it is, but I know that when I fall, I instantly turn into ice, and the moment I land, my body will shatter into pieces. Even the great firmament deity wouldn't be able to save me. Mysterious Peak Cliff. It rose into the clouds. The snow covered for 10,000 years, never melting. At the bottom of its peak, there was an extremely cold place. Even the superpower house would not dare to approach this place because its temperature could freeze the blood essence in their veins. Here. It was called the Zone of Death. It was also known as Absolute Zero. The news about the land flower was spread by Song Kwong, but she did not investigate it thoroughly. She also did not expect that all of this was a trap meant for Long Fei. As long as he could kill Long Fei, Song Kwong would not hesitate. It's so cold. This is too cold. I feel like my blood vessels are about to freeze. Yi Jingyun rubbed his hands together. Ice crystals were hanging from his nose and his brows were also covered in ice. Not just cold. Most importantly, Long Fei felt that his cultivation was going to be frozen. It was very strange. Even with their cultivations, they would not be so cold. Long Fei looked at the dusky mountain peak as he thought to himself, there must be something strange up there. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.